Week this football season, presented by Johnston's Home Center. If they don't have it at Johnston's, you probably don't need it. That's Isaiah Sategno on Drive Time Sports and 103.7 The Buzz.
Abe Lincoln, Duck Dynasty, and Chuck Norris. Do you have what it takes to join these bearded greats? Join the Arkansas Urology Foundation for the 4th annual Beard Bracket Challenge, presented by First Horizon Bank, as you put down your razors and put your facial hair to the test. No Shave November helps bring awareness to men's health issues, from prostate cancer to sleep conditions, mental health, and everything in between. Guys, put down your razors and submit your bearded photos to arkansasurology.com between now and December 6th for your chance to win a 70-inch flat screen TV in the 4th annual Beard Bracket Challenge, presented by First Horizon Bank and the Arkansas Urology Foundation.
Tune in every Monday night at 7 for the Coach Calipari Show. Coach will break down each game and talk strategy. And it's all brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Central Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Visit genesisofconway.com and find the future of luxury today.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
All right, I'm ready. Y'all ready? Joe, you ready?
Ready to go.
All right. It's going to be a good game. Good game. Good day. I'm excited.
And good games, possibly.
We got anything good tonight? What's the Wednesday?
NBA Wednesday.
Little action. I watched a little action last night.
Did you?
Yeah. I was sitting at work and had the TV on and a couple of entertaining games. A couple more tonight.
We love to see the image of snow games, and Mac, that's where you'll get some of these snow games.
Well, it's funny. One of the games I was watching last year, the very same game, I think it was Central Michigan and
probably Western Michigan.
Western Michigan. Yeah, and they were playing for their big trophy, and they showed a flashback to last year, and it was that snow game, and there was like 6 inches, and they're sliding around. It looked so awesome. By the end of the game, it had stopped, and they kind of got the shovels out and the snow machines and cleared it off a little bit. But last night, no, nothing like that. It was decent weather, but decent football. It was football. Did see the Celtics took care of the winning streak. It's over for the Cavs, 15-1 now.
Yeah. And that was an NBA Cup game that happens on Tuesdays and Fridays through November. Semifinals championship happened in early December, so that was a big win, because Celtics go down 0-2 within that tournament that's going on, then that lessens their chances of making it out of pool play.
What's the significance of winning the cup? Is it cash?
Yes, yeah. Trophy and cash. Each player gets $500,000.
Oh, okay. That's significant.
Yeah.
Even for multimillionaires, it's nice to get a little bonus check.
Absolutely.
It's right before Christmas. Make the wife happy and the kids. Coming up on the show today, here's what we got. Aaron Dietrich will join us at 1:30. Aaron is the sports director for the TV station down in Monroe. He's got his own sports talk show in Monroe. We're going to talk about Louisiana Tech with him and Louisiana Monroe, because they play A-State this weekend, and A-State's bowl eligible, and now they're trying to add to it and get a 7th win, an 8th win. They got 2 home games to finish the season. So Butch Jones is trying to use that home field advantage, he's hoping, and get a couple more wins to get a better bowl game for Arkansas State. Coming up at 2:10, we'll have Pat Bradley. We'll talk about the Razorbacks' victory over Pacific and look ahead to Little Rock and just get his thoughts on what he is seeing out of this team so far. At 2:30, we'll talk some high school football with Todd Escola. He's the head coach of the Joe T. Robinson Senators. They have a fun game Friday night in Lakeside. is coming to town. Lakeside finished second place in the 5A South. Joe T won the 5A Central. And to me, this is two top 5 teams in 5A. And I think some of the rankings indicate that. I think it's Parkview, Joe T, maybe Lakeside third or Valley View. But anyway, it's two of the better teams meeting in the second round of the 5A playoffs. And then at 3:30, Kyle Sutherland will join us. And we'll talk a little bit more high school football with him. So that's the lineup. That's what we have today. I want to start with the college football playoff rankings. Last night, we got another set of rankings, a new bracket, and not a lot of change at the top, but there was some change down towards the bottom. And as I was afraid of, Tennessee dropped out, and they are on the outside looking in right now, even though they were ranked number 11. Initially, I saw the 11 ranking. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, they squeezed in. But then I forgot that, Boise State, BYU, they're going to jump ahead of TCU because of the highest-ranked non-Power 5 conference champ, and BYU would be the projected winner of the Big 12, and they automatically get in. And that's what's kind of funny looking at these rankings in the playoff bracket. You have a Boise State team that's ranked number 12 getting a bye, and the number 4 overall seed hosting either BYU or Ohio State. And then, well, with BYU, even though they're ranked number 12, they would be in because they would be what? BYU is in because of the Big 12. Yes. They would be, yes, they're in because the projected winner of the Big 12. Boise State is the highest non-ranked or non-Power 5 conference winner. That's why they would get in. And then they would be the top 4 highest-ranked conference winner.
That's
Those
amazing.
4 get a bye, yes.
Yeah, that part is amazing where –
spit that out.
Yeah, winning the conference championship as a Mountain West champion, you're a top 4. That's amazing in itself.
It shows the decline of the ACC and the Big 12. That it is a down year. It is so, when this came out, I thought, well, this is a great idea. So you're going to get the SEC champ, you're going to get the Big 10 champ, you're going to get the ACC champ, you're going to get the Big 12 champ as your top 4 seeds, right? That's going to be good. And they're normally right there in the top 5, top 10. That's a perfect scenario. That's great thinking. Didn't think about the possibility of 2 of the 4 being really down and really putting throwing a kink in this. I mean, it just doesn't look right when you see this playoff bracket and you see these teams that are ranked so high in the 12s, 13, 14 getting a bye in the first round.
Well, that's what opened here, the possibilities of a group of 5 champion being in that top 4, and that comes with so many teams in the playoff with 12. Now, to say it's perfect, it's not, because there are going to be a lot of teams at the end of the season that feel like they should get in, and they're going to be left on the outside. But it does open that possibility where a team like a Boise State can be in that top 4, where before it wasn't even possible.
You wouldn't have thought, no, there's no way that they're going to get in and get a bye and be one of the top 4 teams. But with like I said, with the ACC being so far down, the Big 12 being so far down, and then, in a way, if it holds, it's going to steal a bid from either the Big 10 or the SEC. It looks more like the SEC right now because of the number of teams. They have 5 teams right there right now in the top 11. The Big 12 has Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana, 4 teams in the top 5. Kind of goes to what we were saying yesterday. Big 10, top heavy. There's no debating. They've got 4 teams at the top of their league, and they're also at the top of the country in the rankings. After that, it's pretty slim pickings. You got Indiana that's ranked at number 25. SEC, a deep league. In fact, I saw this stat today, and I saved it so we could talk about it. 11 SEC schools have at least 1 win versus a team that is currently ranked in the top 25. 11 SEC teams have at least 1 win against a team ranked in the top 25.
That's because they're playing each other, too.
This total leads all conferences by more than double. To take that stat one more step, the SEC has 7 schools with at least 1 win versus top 10 teams in the current college football playoff rankings. That total leads all other conferences more than triple. 7 SEC teams with the top 10 victory right now. that shows how deep they are. It's not just those top 5 that are in the top 12. Throw in A&M, they're at number 15. South Carolina, Missouri, but you got teams like Kentucky, Arkansas, Vanderbilt that has picked off top 10, top 25 wins, and it's just made the SEC kind of a dog-eat world where they're just knocking each other off, and that's kind of apparent in the SEC standings now.
Well, that's been the case for a number of years, but it shows even more where there's more of a focus here with a 12-team playoff and opening it where you see that more teams can get in and you know that they all can't get in. We've talked about how you can have a scenario with so many teams, 2 losses at the end of the season, all of those can't get in.
No, as of right now, Tennessee would not be in. They would be on the outside looking in, even though they're ranked number 11 in the country. Got a couple of teams that get automatic qualifiers below them that jump ahead of them that give them the dubious distinction of being ranked in the top 12 but being left out. With all these upsets already happening, Joe, in the SEC, could we have another upset in the SEC this week? I looked at the projected game or at the schedule. Florida hosting Ole Miss. Ole Miss only a 10-point favorite. Do you see a scenario where Florida beats Ole Miss this week?
Oh, it's always a chance there, but the way that Ole Miss is playing at a high level, I think they're going to be focused. Now, you can be as focused as you want to. You still have to line it up and go win that game. But I wouldn't put a significant chance on that. But, yeah, Florida's playing – they have athletes, and they're playing better ball right now. Quarterback DJ Lagway has made a difference in how they're playing. So, yeah, there's a chance there.
I agree. I think it's a small chance. I think Ole Miss on the offensive line, defensive line is just too good. Their defense isn't good enough. I think Ole Miss can outscore them, even if Florida and Lagway finds a way to move the ball against Ole Miss. But that was a different Florida team I saw this past weekend against LSU than the one against Texas, and it was all because of Lagway and just that belief that they had a chance. And then once they got going, that belief turned into momentum, and they took that one from LSU. Got Kentucky going on the road to play Texas. Texas 20.5-point favorite on Bet Saracen. You see a better chance of an upset here or Florida Ole Miss?
I see better for Florida Ole Miss. Don't really see this one happening, but that's what upsets are. You don't see them happening, and that's why they're upsets. That the team that is there, you don't think that they're going to win that game, but they go on to win it. That's why it becomes an upset. 2
more for you. Oklahoma hosting Alabama. Alabama in the college football playoff right now. Alabama is a 13.5-point favorite on Bet Saracen, maybe 14. I need to check that. I think it went down a half a point, 13.5. Oklahoma struggled. They have a nice defense. Offensively, it's been a struggle. They've gotten a couple of wide receivers back, playing a little better offensively. Is there an upset here in the making?
Whenever a team lines up against Bama, your main objective is to stop Jalen Milroe. Oklahoma, maybe they can slow him down a bit, but don't think they're going to have enough to stop Jalen Milroe, and no, don't see that one happening.
Offensively, I just don't think they can score enough points. I think out of the 3 we've talked about, this might be the least likely for me to see an upset. Just don't have the confidence in Oklahoma to do it offensively. Have to have something defensively, something, a pick six, a scoop and score, something crazy like that to get them a little momentum, to give them a little hope, something crazy like that to happen. The final game where we could have an upset, A&M right now on the outside looking in, they have to win out. They have to beat Auburn. They have to beat Texas to get into the college football playoff. There is a scenario for them, but they have to win. They go to the Plains, taking on Auburn. Right now, Auburn, small line, A&M favored by 2.5.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising that the line is that, but home field means something, and Auburn, they play well at home at times. Now, we have seen them take some home losses with Arkansas, with Cal, but they seem to be playing better now than they were at that time.
Mm-hmm. Coming off a big blowout win last week against Louisiana Monroe, and Even Walker White got in from Little Rock Christian Academy. I forgot to mention that on Monday. Congratulations to him. Got to see his first action. Ran the ball effectively. Had several nice runs against Louisiana Monroe. Yeah, very athletic quarterback. A&M, like I said, 2.5-point favorite. The smallest point spread out of these 4 potential upsets that I just discussed. Is this the most likely in your book? It is not in mine.
No.
I'm surprised by this line. I think A&M wins this game easily. I do. I think they win by double digits. I think A&M is going to be just fine at Auburn. I don't see this point spread and why it's so low. I'm not ready to jump on board and say this is the most likely of the 4 to be upset.
Yeah, I could see that. It could be a 23-13, 27-17 type game.
So you're going as the most likely to be. And let's do this. Let's make this our out of bounds question of the day. Out of these 4 SEC games, which one is most likely to be upset? And because there's 4 ranked teams, 4 teams with hopes of being in the college football playoff. 3 of the 4 have to go on the road. Ole Miss at Florida. You got Texas A&M at Auburn. You got Alabama going to Oklahoma. The one team that is on upset alert from us is Texas at home against Kentucky. Put that out there. Let's see what people think is the most likely scenario for an SEC team to be upset. I'm going to tell you. I'll vote on this one. I'm going Kentucky. I'm going Kentucky to pull off their second upset of the season. They went to Ole Miss and got it done. I think Kentucky's defense is good enough to slow down Texas and hold them to 17, 20, 23 points. And the Kentucky offense just good enough to run the ball consistently, which I wish Arkansas would have done. Run the ball and make this a sloppy, ugly, nasty game, low-scoring game, and Kentucky coming out of there with a 20-17 victory. That's the one I'm pulling the trigger on. Upset, not likely, but if I'm going to pick one, that's the one.
We'll see what listeners are thinking there.
Who do you like? How are you voting?
I'm going to go with Florida. That's the one I like more. I don't like any of them, but that's the one I would go with.
Yeah, voters, you got to pick one. You have to pick one. We're not putting none as an option. I know somebody is going to be funny and write none. 501 says on the D3 Auto Sales text line, it could be the Mountain West and American champs are higher ranked than the Big 12 and the ACC. In that case, Big 12 or ACC would be out. That is a scenario. Who is the American champ right now? SMU, well, they could lose. Clemson's right there. Miami's right there. I don't know if that's going to happen. You would have to have some crazy stuff to happen these last couple weeks, but it could. 940, all of our Longhorn fan says, Wes, save your money. That will never happen. No, I'm not betting it. I'm just saying out of the 4, which is most likely, in my book, that's the one. And that would be completely opposite with what Vegas says because Texas is the biggest favorite out of those 4, 20.5 points. Although I might put a little something on Kentucky. That seems like a whole lot of points for a team that's got a nice defense. But, I mean, Texas could win that game 35-10 and cover. I'm going Auburn, says this texter on the 501. A&M isn't great on the road.
Okay. Maybe that's why the line reflects.
Yeah, I am. A&M lost at home to Notre Dame. And who was that other loss? SEC loss. Oh, South Carolina a couple weeks ago. That was their other loss. Okay. It's a good vote. I'm just saying that's how the setup is PayPal. I'm just confused with this power. This has nothing to do with – oh, okay. A big part of this is because the Pac-12 dismantled just before the playoffs started. Otherwise, you would have another conference champion from a Power 5 spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you guys think that Jerry Jones will do anything about the sun situation at Cowboys Stadium? A curtain or a filter over those windows?
Jerry says no.
No, he's not. They already got curtains. Curtains are there. He just doesn't want to pull them and shut the curtains during a game day because that blocks out the sun, that blocks out the outside, and he's already said he likes the outside coming in. He likes the feel of this being an open-air stadium. What's up, Kane?
What?
Yes, sir.
What are you drinking and smoking in that studio? I can't believe that you're going against the Longhorns, man.
T, did you see how bad they looked last week against Arkansas? That's not a top 3 team. Texas is not one of the best teams in the country. I'm sticking to it. A&M beats Texas in 2 weeks.
You play golf, right?
Not enough, but
golf.
Yep.
Okay, now, the word in golf is it's not how you drive, but it's how you arrive. And if you think that Kentucky gonna beat Texas, I got a $100 bill, and you give me $1. And if that happens, I will bring a $100 bill to the studio Monday morning.
You're giving me 1 to 100 odds, Kane?
Hey, you owe me a picture anyway for the last 12 years.
Kane, I have asked her. I'll tell you this. Straight up, if I lose, I'll stay on her, and I'll try to get a picture.
All right, man. But anyway, man, I can't believe somebody going to go up against my Texas Longhorns.
Kane, is your front 7 good enough to win a championship? Your defensive line and your linebackers.
Well, like I said, action speaks louder than words. We'll see. And I will call you Monday afternoon and tell you, I told you so. Appreciate it, Joe.
See you, Kane.
Have a good one, Kane.
For the record, I don't think Kentucky's going to win. I'm not picking them to win. I'm just saying out of those 4 scenarios, I think that's the more likely to happen. I'm not going on Bet Saracen and money lining Kentucky to win this game. I think Texas wins the game, but out of the 4, that's the one I think is more likely to happen. I'm not a Texas fan, period, and I'm not a fan of this football team.
Okay.
I think they're good. They're not great. Their secondary is really good. Their secondary may be the best in the SEC. And look, that can take you a long way, but I think they're going to run up against a team that's going to pound the ball, that's going to run it and stick with it, and that's going to give Texas a lot of problems. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think their quarterback's good enough to win a national championship either. He misses.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of his. I mean, he missed 3 deep throws against Arkansas. Guys are open, and he didn't miss them. He missed them by like 6 yards. I mean, the ball's in the air, and I see the receiver, and I'm like, whew, glad he's not any good throwing the deep ball because that guy was open. And like, put some air under it and give your receiver a chance. But he throws like a line drive, drills it down there, and it's 6 yards over his head. I'm like, you put a little air in it, heck, who knows? Maybe the DB runs into him. Not that Arkansas ever does that, right? And it's pass interference. Well, there's no chance of a pass interference when you overthrow him like that.
He's projected to be one of the top quarterbacks.
He better not go to the Cowboys. Then I'm going to have a problem with Jerry.
Oh.
Seriously. Better not go to the Cowboys.
You don't want him to stay at home, huh?
No, not at all. All right, we're just getting started. That was a fun first 30 minutes. When we come back, we will shift gears a little bit and talk about Louisiana Tech. Aaron Dietrich will join us. He's there in Monroe, covers Louisiana Tech and Louisiana Monroe. A-State fans, we'll give you a little preview of the Red Hawks. That's what they are now, right? Used to be the Indians. This used to be the Indians and the Indians.
Everything's changed.
Red Wolves, Red Hawks. Stick around. We're just getting started. I had a big tea, Kane. That's what I'm drinking. Tea. And it's a good tea from Chick-fil-A. Got me wound up. A little caffeine in the system. It's Out of Bounds.
Centennial Bank presents Dan Hampton when he joins Morning Mayhem each week this football season. Centennial Bank, banking with you in mind. Member FDIC.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Kentucky stayed undefeated, beating Lipscomb 97-68 behind Jackson Robinson's 20 points on 6 of 10 from the field. Florida beat Florida A&M 84-60. Will Richard led the way with 20 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists. Georgia rolled up Alabama A&M 93-45. They were led by star freshman Asa Newell, who had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Then LSU beat Charleston Southern 77-68 behind freshman Victorious Miller's 19 points off the bench. Miller is the son of rapper Silk the Shocker and the nephew of Master P. Tonight in the SEC, 23rd-ranked Texas A&M will host Southern at 7 on SEC Network Plus, and 8th-ranked Alabama will host 25th-ranked Illinois at 8 on the SEC Network. Arkansas will face Illinois on Thanksgiving. And Little Rock will take on Tulsa tonight at 7 on ESPN Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Bass tournaments and some of the best fishing spots in the state. It's Fishing Arkansas, Sunday mornings with Big Sarge and his crew. Fishing Arkansas is presented by Shelter Agent Jamie Marsh, Stanley Hardware, Petra's Farm and Grill. Fishing Arkansas, Sunday mornings on 103.7 The Buzz.
Black Friday, Brown Friday, Blue Friday, Floral Friday. Doesn't matter. It's all priced just right at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, where comfort meets style. No matter what color it is, through December 2nd, save up to 50% on select items, 35% on sectionals, plus 30% off store-wide. The color choice and style are all yours. Shop extended hours to outfit any room in your home at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See Agent Steve Ferguson in Little Rock, Bo Beavis in Cabot, or Daniel Vickers in Sherwood.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Thanksgiving is almost here, which means it's time to start thinking about your holiday plans. This year, save time along with the worry and hassle, and let the team at Edwards Food Giant do it for you. Their turkey dinner includes the turkey, as well as their signature cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls. All fully cooked, homemade, and ready for you to heat and serve to your family. If that's not enough, their deluxe turkey dinner also includes sweet potato casserole, green beans, and apple pie. Now that's what I call a Thanksgiving spread. Click on edwardsfoodgiant.com to view their full menus and find out how to order your dinner.
The future of luxury today. That slogan from Genesis of Conway has never been truer than it is right now. I say that because the incredible, the unbelievable, the remarkable GV70 can now enhance your life beyond your wildest dreams at 2.99% interest for up to 60 months and up to $3,000 off. Make it happen. Genesis. It becomes genius when there's you. And you drop an E. Okay, never mind. Genesis of Conway. Future of luxury today.
Mud Connection presents the Hog Wild pregame show with David Basil and Trey Schapp before each Arkansas Razorback football game 4 hours before kickoff. Hog Wild pregame is brought to you in part by Bud Light, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and the Holiday Inn Express and Suites off Weddington and Fayetteville.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving? Trust every mile.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right.
Back at it. It is Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Glad you're hanging out with us this afternoon at Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, Saturday afternoon at 3. Let's find out about those Bulldogs. Aaron Dietrich joins us now. He's got his own sports talk show in Monroe. Does a little TV. Kind of the Aaron Dietrich's the Wes Moore of Monroe. Does TV and radio. What's up, dude?
Man, I don't know if I can wear those. What's going on?
Man, just trying to, you know how it is. Just living life, juggling all these different balls.
Yeah. What's up? Y'all fired up? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, they need to win this game to get bowl eligible.
Who's back?
Need to finish strong for Pittman if he's going to keep his job. So, yeah, there's a lot on this game. Senior day.
I thought you were talking about Louisiana Tech needs to win this game to become bowl eligible, or an inch closer to being bowl eligible.
I tell you what, I said this yesterday. I watched them earlier in the season, and they looked god-awful. And I said, this is a guaranteed win. And, dude, the last 3 weeks, they played Sam Houston close. They played Western Kentucky, beat Western Kentucky. They played the best of the Conference USA the last couple of weeks and did well. And I got to say, they're playing much better football.
Yeah, but as you said, they set the bar so low at the beginning of the year, they were god-awful.
Yeah.
And you forgot about the fact that, Rich Rodriguez came in and, he's 5-0 in conference play, and they had to have a Hail Mary to beat Louisiana Tech. And then, of course, they won in overtime. But so the Bulldogs are playing better, but they're still not very good. And I'm sure you looked at this stat, and their Sonny Cumbie, Louisiana Tech, is 2-16, and one of those victories came last week. So 2-16, they're not exactly road warriors.
Wow.
Any concern for their offense and the ability to keep up in a game where the scores get up?
Yeah, they have no offense. I mean, that's the problem, man. I mean, they're ranked 104th, I think, overall. The rushing offense is 116. I mean, it's been all about their defense, and that's what's ironic about, Sonny Cumbie. Comes in, you're thinking, all right, well, I don't know if they're going to be able to slow anybody down, but they're going to have this air raid. They're going to be fun. They're going to be exciting. They're going to be entertaining. Well, Louisiana Tech has been none of that in 3 years. But they did bring in a new defensive coordinator, and this guy has been playing some incredible defense, talking about a defense that's ranked right now 12th in the country in total defense.
So what's been the issue with the offense, though? Is it just a lack of execution, not having the talent, play calling? What exactly is going on?
Well, it started, they didn't have a quarterback. They thought they did. They had Jack Turner had been in the system for a couple of years, so they'd put all their hopes on him. Eventually, they moved away from him. Now they got a freshman quarterback, Ethan Bullock, and he's doing all right. I mean, he's got 12 touchdown passes on the year. They had some issues up front. They have no rushing attack whatsoever. I think they're ranked 116th in the country in rushing offense. So they've got one or two playmakers at wide receiver. True Edwards, I don't know if you remember Troy Edwards. He was a dynamic playmaker at Louisiana Tech back in the day. He set an NCAA record for yardage against Nebraska. Well, his son, True Edwards, he's pretty good. He's got 6 receptions on the year, somewhere around 55 receptions. So if you were looking for one game breaker for them, that would be it for Louisiana Tech.
You know this team well, and you've watched enough of Arkansas. What do you expect?
Arkansas to win this pretty easily. So the thing was, I mean, that was a massive win for Sonny Cumbie last week. I mean, the bottom line is this is one of the weakest schedules in the country. You look at it any other year, Louisiana Tech, I mean, they should be sitting at 6, 7, 8 wins, but now they're sitting at 4 wins, or the game against Arkansas, and then they're going to close out the season against one of the worst teams in the country in Kennesaw State. So, I mean, this is a team and this is a program that's coming off 3-win seasons. A lot of pressure on Sonny Cumbie coming into this year, and unfortunately, they just haven't delivered. I mean, they've lost so many heartbreakers. Yes, they've had 3 overtime games. They lost all 3 of those. They've had another 2 games that were decided by a touchdown or less. They lost those also. That's why last week, when they had a field goal blocked in the last minute and 30 seconds, you're like, well, they're going to lose this one to Western Kentucky too. But somehow they came away with the victory. The defense made the big stand. Even though Louisiana Tech did not score an offensive touchdown in that game, they had to kick 4 field goals to win it. So I just don't think Louisiana Tech has the offensive firepower to score enough points against Arkansas.
Break down the defense and tell us about rush defense, pass defense. What are strengths there?
Linebacking core is really good. I don't know if you remember Zach Demos. He actually started up there in Arkansas. He transferred 2 years ago, so he's been one of the mainstays at linebacker for him. They brought in a linebacker from LSU, actually sat out last year. The Fields kid, Colby Fields, he's been outstanding. They got a defensive lineman, Michael Clark, who's pretty good. Secondary's pretty solid too. The defensive coordinator they brought in, I mean, he has basically saved this team. He came from northern Iowa, did a lot of great things up there, and he has just been a godsend for Louisiana Tech. As I mentioned, the defensive numbers and how he's kept them in ball games.
Aaron, while we have you on, I wanted to talk a little bit about Louisiana Monroe. because they're coming up here too to play Arkansas State. So it's kind of a double dipper for the Louisiana and Arkansas teams.
So literally, it may have been flying a little bit under your radar, but I would say it was one of the feel-good stories in college football. You look at the fact ULM started the season 5-1. I mean, this is a program that, of course, has been to one bowl game in their history of Division I football. Start 5-1 with a new coach in Brian Vincent. They have certainly hit the wall at this point as they've lost 4 straight, sitting at 5-5. Still trying to become bowl eligible for just the third time in the program's history. You look at this matchup against Arkansas State, it's incredible, Wes. They haven't beaten these guys since 2010. They haven't won in Jonesboro since 2001.
Wow.
So the Red Wolves have had the Warhawks number. They've won 14 times in a row. But the fact that they haven't won there since 2001 is incredible.
If La Tech and Monroe lined up on the same field, who would have the advantage there?
Good question. You know what? Everybody wants to see that. You realize they haven't played since 2001, which makes absolutely no sense. The fact that they're separated by 37 miles. ULM would win it right now.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, well, the ULM team was pretty darn good at the beginning of the year. Some would say that maybe the schedule set it up that way, but they've got a kind of an identity. Brian Vincent has come in here and done an incredible job. They've got a great running back in Ahmad Hardy. He's a true freshman out of Mississippi. He is the real deal. And if they can figure out a way to keep him around for another year or two, they're in good shape. But ULM still has hopes. They think this could be their win against Arkansas State, make them bowl eligible. Then they got the Dirty Cajuns coming in here next week, and they'd love to spoil their season.
Have you watched any La Tech basketball?
Ooh, baby, they're loaded. You know about Daniel Bacho? He's one of the best players in the entire country, and he's coming off a 38-point performance, and he is the real deal. He came in from Texas Tech last year, so he thought it'd be one of these one-and-done deals where he'd head off to the NBA or play professionally somewhere. He's 6'10", 6'11", and somehow they convinced him to stick around for another year. So him and a point guard named Sean Newman. Louisiana Tech hasn't been to the Big Dance, I think, since 1993, 1994. This could be the year.
How about
was he overlooked coming out of high school? Is he a transfer? What's the story?
Oh no, he's a 4-star, 5-star kid that ended up at Texas Tech, and it just didn't work out there. The thing was, Calvin Hester, Louisiana Tech head coach, was an assistant there at Texas Tech, so that's how they convinced him to come to Ruston.
Is Landon Blocker getting any play?
To tell you the truth, I don't think so. But I've watched him a couple of times, and if he did, it didn't stand out.
Okay. He is a high-flying kind of wing forward guy out of Little Rock Christian Academy, and I've seen him just put on shows. And I thought Louisiana Tech got a steal with him. Arkansas looked at him, and he just didn't have the outside shot at the time, but definitely has SEC athleticism and can just jump and fly. Just a great athlete. Just didn't have the shot, and so Arkansas never offered him. Iowa State was down here looking at him during the state championship game, but that coach told me the same thing. Man, he just needs to develop an outside shot, or we'd offer him. But anyway, I think you guys got a good one in him.
I'll keep an eye on him. I mean, they've literally every single game they've had so far, they've only been challenged one time, and that was against UMass, and they still won that by over in double digits. So they're going to be fun to watch.
Cool. AD, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on and giving us a preview of those Louisiana schools.
You got bud. Have a great week.
All right. It's Aaron Dietrich, KNOE, and Monroe also has a sports talk show there in Monroe. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll open things up to you. I'll check the D3 Auto Sales text line, take some calls. The question of the day, could it be an upset in the SEC this weekend? Who could be upset? Who's most likely to get upset? Your calls next. It's Out of Bounds.
Experience the holidays in North Wood Rock with their Northern Lights Holiday Festival, brought to you by North Wood Rock Tourism on November 23rd at the Argenta Plaza. With great music by the band Bad Habit, you can finish your holiday shopping at the holiday market, get pictures with Santa, grab a bite to eat, meet one of several character actors, and dance in a silent disco. There will also be tickets for sale to Piccolo Zope Winter Circus at 4 and 7 p.m. Learn more about Northern Lights at northwoodrock.org/events.
Hello, Buzz listeners. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood. If you're looking for a great deal, come to Fletcher Dodge and look for the green tags. The green tag price is Frank Fletcher's best deal, and it's right on the windshield. Only Fletcher Dodge has the lowest prices, no payments until next year, and available sales tax paid. This is the deal of the week. On the showroom floor, I got one available Ram Hemi engine crew cab, $13,000 off. We have all new Jeep Compass 4x4s starting at $26,993, up to $6,000 off all new Jeep Wranglers, and up to $8,000 off the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4-wheel drive. Folks, we're making deals every day like it's the last day of the month. Just tell us what you want and how much you want to pay. And if you've had credit problems in the past, come see us. We can help. If other dealers have told you no, go to FletcherCredit.com and get pre-approved. Remember, no payments till next year. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays, and DJs spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This Thanksgiving, Target makes hosting easy with our lowest prices of the season, like Good and Gather Premium Turkey for 79 cents a pound and quality green beans for 55 cents. Or classic stovetop stuffing on sale for $1.99 and delicious Favorite Day apple or pumpkin pie for only $4.49. Plus, get unlimited same-day delivery with a free 14-day trial of Target Circle 360 to make planning even easier. Save more on hosting. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Did you know that we also offer mobile diagnostic service and repair? Equipment broke down? The check engine light on? We will come to you with the latest computer software and expert technicians to repair your truck on the spot. If it does need to come to our shop, we will arrange to pick it up. Let Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer take care of all your service and repair needs at your place or ours. That's 501-568-2185.
Craig O'Neill here with an important Thanksgiving Day question. Why turkey? Why not a Petit Jean ham this year? You know that hickory smoke flavor is going to make it far more enjoyable, and you know somebody's going to fix sweet potatoes. What goes with sweet potatoes? Petit Jean ham. And Petit Jean is produced by an Arkansas family that wants only the best for your family. Go to your favorite grocer or supercenter. A Petit Jean ham for Thanksgiving. Your family will taste the difference. Oh, they'll love the difference.
Rock and Roll Sushi presents the Zone's Rock and Roll Challenge. Every Wednesday, Chris and Justin will spin the wheel of rock and roll knowledge and give you a chance to win a $20 Rock and Roll Sushi gift card. The Rock and Roll Challenge on the Zone is presented by Rock and Roll Sushi.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control.
Black Friday's right around the corner. Gwatney Chevrolet always blows it out for Black Friday. But you don't have to wait until Black Friday. Maybe you're going to be out of town. Can't make it to Jacksonville for Black Friday. They'll take care of you right now. Black Friday deals are happening right now at Gwatney Chevrolet, James Street exit in Jacksonville. 0% financing on Silverado. They got a Trailblazer, brand new Trailblazer, $299 a month. How about that? Drive away in a brand new car and your monthly payment's $299 a month. Great deals on the Tahoes, the Suburbans. Great incentives and rebates on those. Go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. You can see all the deals that they have going on right now. You can see all the inventory, too. And remember, they're still paying top dollar for quality cars, trucks, SUVs that you trade in. Over $2,500 than Kelley Blue Book. We'll take Kelley Blue Book and add $2,500 to it. That's a sweet deal. Black Friday, right now at Gwatney Chevrolet. Rest of the month, it's happening. James Street exit in Jacksonville. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you on Out of Bounds as we wrap up the first hour. We got Pat Bradley coming up next, 2:10 after the Razor Hog update brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. Also coming up in the second hour, we got Todd Escola, Joe T. Robinson, head coach. Let's go to the D3 Auto Sales text line. See what we got over there. If y'all want to chime in, you can call now. I keep seeing all these Texas fans on social media saying they could control the East and the West. Don't they know there's not an East and a West no more? No, Texas fans are stupid. I mean, no, they don't realize that. They're not a lock for the SEC championship game. They're in the I'd say they're in the driver's seat, but they got to go to College Station. That's going to be a difficult game. Rivalry game? Are you kidding me? A&M's been waiting for this moment for how long? And they get it finally. And with everything online, I really hope A&M wins this week and Texas wins this week. I like 3 over Kentucky. And it's for all the marbles. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be. And it goes back to the rivalry they've always had in state. And Texas buys into that also. A&M probably views Texas in a bigger way than Texas looks at A&M, but they buy into it. They know that A&M is always coming for them.
Bobby Joe says, Wes, I will take you out to eat anywhere in this state if it happens. Florida will beat Ole Miss. Okay, that's his upset. Florida over Ole Miss. It's the same as you, Joe. All right, if Kentucky wins, I want to go to Red Oak down at Saracen. I saw them tweeting out all the honors for the steakhouse. Debbie in Monroe says, Warhawks. Yeah, Louisiana. Oh, I said Red Hawks, didn't I? I did. I said Red Wolves and Red Hawks. It's Warhawks. My bad. Thank you, Debbie. Misspoken. 501 also says that. Louisiana Monroe is the Warhawks, not the Red Hawks. My bad. Petition to replace the coin toss with a 1-versus-1 football dropped from a helicopter for opening possession of the game. You would drop the ball and two players from each team would do the fumble drill to see who can get the opening kick.
Yeah, that's a little bit far-fetched. It's not going to go that far. Now they did used to do a scramble for the ball.
A scrum?
Yeah, well, they put the ball there and have 5 players from each team race to try to see who could get it. And whoever got it, they got first possession. Now, think about this. There are a lot of teams that don't want first possession. So I guess if you get the ball, you get a choice of – do you want the ball or do you want them to get the ball?
Would you get the ball right there where you recovered it?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was just
that was just a way of deciding who got the ball.
It sounds like a UFL thing.
It was something, and it was before UFL, but yeah, it was XFL at the time.
501 writes in, if Pittman somehow manages to beat Louisiana Tech and Mizzou, then gets to a bowl win, he'll be treading in Houston Dale Nut territory. Might be here another 5 or 6 years. He might. You never know. Is that your worst nightmare?
It sounds like it might be for somebody.
TP in Little Rock says, Thursday night, Pittsburgh 12, Cleveland 9. I'm sure there's usually some great prop bets on Bet Saracen, like first touchdown score, score touchdown in this half, field goal in this half. I wonder if there'll be a prop, no touchdown scored.
There could be. There could be. Just mentioning how that's probably Steelers' biggest rival. It turns out that Browns are probably every team in the division, not necessarily their biggest. Well, yeah, they're their biggest rival because if you look at Ravens, Ravens used to be Browns, so that's a rivalry in itself. Bengals, they look at everything about them. Paul Brown Browns are named for Paul Brown. but then he's the founder and owner of Bengals, and they look at the color scheme. Everything for Bengals, it was supposed to one-up what was going on with the Browns. And and they're in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steelers-Browns, they played the most games. So, yeah, Browns are viewed by every team in that division as probably one of the most heated rivals.
Okay, here are the Bet Saracen prop bets for Thursday night. Each team to score 20 points. That should be like 1,000,000 to 1. It's 450 plus 450. No way I'm touching that.
Yeah, it should be higher, probably.
Yeah, it should be higher. Browns to score 3 touchdowns and win. Plus 600.
Okay.
Don't see that happening. That should be a lot higher. Each team to score 1 rushing touchdown and 1 passing touchdown. That's plus 700. 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown from each team.
Yeah, see, that's good odds there.
Jameson Winston and Russell Wilson to combine for 500 yards passing.
Okay, and that has higher odds?
Plus 750. I don't see that happening.
But see, those are attainable.
You think?
Yeah, 250 each?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of them hit 250.
Okay.
Against that defense. I see Russell Wilson. What's he put up as far as yards passing?
He's had a 300-yard game, but he's had some mostly, let's see, in a small sample size, it's been.
This will be his 4th game?
It's been 4, so this will be 5. Yeah. He's had a couple that were high hundreds, not even breaking 200.
That's kind of my thinking. And with the Pittsburgh defense, I don't see Jameis throwing for a lot. George Pickens, David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, each to record 50 yards receiving. Plus 850.
Kind of like that one because 50. That's not a lot.
That's not crazy. Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, and Jaylen Warren each to record 50-plus yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Chubb, he's still kind of working his way back from that major injury that he had, and getting around 50 has been a bit of a struggle for him.
Yeah, I don't like that one either. Steelers to win every quarter.
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe.
Hey, 3-0. I don't see Cleveland scoring a lot on y'all. Honestly, don't. Maybe 13 points, something like that.
No, once again, nothing's guaranteed. No, and
well, that's why it's plus 1,500.
This could be a weather game also. This could be a weather game.
Really?
Yeah.
Snow?
Mix.
Uh-oh.
Snow. Yeah, it could be. So that's why those type games, turnovers come into play and
short field, easy score.
Yeah.
That's plus 1,500 though, Joe. Steelers to win every quarter. $10 will win you $150. Any kickoff to be returned for a touchdown plus 2,000.
No.
So no touchdown scored is not
You can
offered.
apply that one to any game.
Any game, yeah.
No.
How many kickoffs have been returned for a touchdown? Over under 3.
I can only think of one.
That's all I could think of. I just thought I might miss something. All right, I'll look deeper into the game totals. That was just their specials bet. There may be a bet on there for no touchdown scored in the game. I'll try to find it. When we come back, Razor Hog Update brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. Plus, we got Pat Bradley talking some Razorback hoops. And then at the bottom of the hour, Todd Escola, Joe T. Robinson, head football coach. They host Lakeside. Friday night, second round of the playoffs. Get into a little Fearless Friday. Kyle Sutherland's coming on in the third hour. We are just getting started. Hour 1 in the books. Stick around.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
Hey, Razorback fans, ready to drive to the next big game in style? Telco Credit Union has you covered with low-rate auto loans. With a pre-approval from Telco Credit Union, you can shop from an in-state or out-of-state dealership. Heck, you can buy from an individual. Hit the road and save today with Telco, your home team for auto loans. Visit telco.com or call 501-375-5321, 501-375-5321 to apply, and tell them Coach Z sent you.
Brooke here, live from the sports desk. Our number 1 play comes from the number 1 Hyundai dealer in Arkansas. Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway, coming in hot with another huge score. Inventory selection to fit any budget. Boom! Look how they say yes. Game-changing action from the winning team at Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway.
Win big with 1.99% financing. New Tucsons and Elantras at Chris Crane Hyundai in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
The last bastion of quality programming.
Why would you listen to any other radio station than 1037 The Buzz? KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
Heads up to all you lotto players. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is warning people to watch out for scammers. Scammers have been calling people saying they may have won hundreds of thousands of dollars and a new Chevy Equinox. But you have to call a different number and give your name and tax ID number to get it. If you get one of these calls, do not call the number they provide and do not give out your personal information. Real lottery officials say they will never contact you directly if you won. The U of A and the University of Oxford are working to make Arkansas's historical data digital. Attorney General Tim Griffin is partnering with both universities to digitize historic documents. One of those is the state constitution, which was handwritten and ratified in 1874. The information will be stored in a database for the University of Oxford's Quill Project. It serves as a portal for legal research for all 50 states and the federal government. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
It's your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds, giving you updates from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, now carrying the 1650 Duck Boat, featuring a heavy-duty built timber hull.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Joel Young.
Skies remain clear through the night into Thursday morning, and temperatures are going to be cold, down to 40 degrees with a slight northwest breeze about 8 to 12 miles per hour. Then Thursday, we're sunny and only slightly warmer than average. Temperatures up to about 64 degrees. Then Thursday night, even colder into the upper 30s by Friday morning. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Joel Young.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Catherine Eldridge here with Doe's Eat Place Little Rock, reminding you to call us and book your holiday party now. We can do parties from 7 to 65. Just call 501-376-1195 for more information and to book your group. And remember, Doe's Eat Place, for goodness sakes.
Black Friday, Brown Friday, Blue Friday, Floral Friday. Doesn't matter. It's all priced just right at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, where comfort meets style. No matter what color it is. Through December 2nd, save up to 50% on select items, 35% on sectionals, plus 30% off store-wide. The color, choice, and style are all yours. Shop extended hours to outfit any room in your home at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Dan Cook in North Little Rock, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Jay Vandover in Little Rock.
Hi, everybody. Jay Leno here. You know, I love doing live stand-up comedy. No politics, no lectures. I'm not giving you my opinion on every issue of the day. Just nothing but jokes. So come by, check it out, and we'll have a lot of fun. Oh, it's clean, too.
Jay Leno live on stage, Saturday, March 1st, Oaklawn Event Center in Hot Springs. Tickets are on sale now at oaklawn.com. Jay Leno Live. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Come on by. Check out the show.
This month at Gwatney Chevrolet, you could be eligible to make no payments for 90 days. That's right, qualified buyers don't pay on new purchases at Gwatney Chevrolet until 2025. If you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, now is the perfect time to buy. It could be yours with no payments until next year. Want to find out if you qualify? Give Gwatney Chevrolet a call at 501-982-2102 or come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Joe Fortenbaugh.
I like what Houston is doing, but they're a long-term buy. People got very excited about what they saw last year. They overachieved in a big way last year. They had a very easy schedule. This year, the schedule is much more challenging. They still had some issues they hadn't fixed, and that's okay because they had a ton of issues when they started the whole thing. This was a dog crap franchise. You have to remember that. And they draft C.J. Stroud. They bring in D'Amico Ryans. They have a lot of success, so now everybody overestimates what they're capable of in the following season. Here's the good news. We did that with the Giants and the Vikings a few years ago when they surprised everybody. Those two teams bottomed out the next year. Houston is still good. They're still good. They're just not great. So what's going to happen is they're going to finish off this season. They're going to win the division. They're going to go to the playoffs. They're going to bow out quickly. And then next year, after they have another spin through the draft and another spin through free agency, they are going to put themselves in a position to truly contend.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. It's now time for your Razor Hog update, presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, your Can-Am super headquarters. Bradford Marine and ATV with many statewide locations. Visit BradfordMarine.com, selling fun since 1971.
We got Razorback basketball returning Friday night when they host the Little Rock Trojans. Of course, Saturday we got a little football also with Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, but we'll stick with basketball right now. Got Pat Bradley joining us here in a few minutes, but Arkansas is coming off of a victory over Pacific earlier this week, and Adu Thero had a big game. Here's Coach Cal on what Thero is doing.
He's scoring 19 on 10 shots. Today it was 8 for 10, but what he's done is matured. He's in better shape. He's stronger. He's better with the ball because he's stronger. You know, he's a better player. You know, he came to us out of high school and, you know, I think he was a 3-star player. You stay 2 years and now you could be a lottery pick.
That's a pretty good progression right there. Arkansas has been shooting the ball a little bit better. They were knocking down the three-pointer against Pacific, and they started, finished the first half, 6 of 12 from the three-point line. That's a pretty good percentage, right, Joe? When you go 6 of 12 from the three-point line in the first half, I think Coach Cal will take that. Second half, they were 3 for 9, didn't take as many, but for the game, nice percentage. Here's Coach Cal on the three-point shooting.
You do know since Baylor, where we started 0 for 9, that after that, through this game, I think we're at 45, 46% of our threes. We're at a high number. We just, we're a little bit confused and weren't as confident as we needed to be, but they're shooting the ball better.
And let's move on to football. Last week against Texas, Arkansas made some changes in the secondary and it seemed to pay off. They had one bad play that gave up the touchdown, but besides that, the defense looked a whole lot better, kind of like the defense against Tennessee. Gave up just 20 points. Here's Coach Pittman on the changes they made in that secondary.
Larry Worth played a really, really good game. I'm not positive off the top of my head how many tackles he had, but he was very, very physical. Mitchell played well. besides the mistake on the screen and go, bubble and go, let him go there. Our eyes got in the wrong place there, excuse me. I thought our linebackers tackled well. D-line ran hard. I thought we played extremely hard. We tackled. That was one of our better tackling games. And I really liked Stewart. He had a good game. And Hudson Clark probably played as good as he's played in a while at the other corner. So I think the changes that we looked at helped us.
Hudson Clark gets a lot of hate. People don't have many nice things to say about Hudson Clark, so I will say it, and I forgot to say it on Monday. Hudson Clark played really well against Texas. He tackled really well, and I think that's why they moved him to corner, because he is – I would say
a short tackler?
Yeah, he's probably their best tackling corner that they have, and it makes sense because he was a safety, and as safety you got to make a lot of tackles, and he bulked up or tried to bulk up and tried to gain some weight and some size after moving from corner to safety and moving back to corner, and it makes sense against Texas. They didn't throw a lot of deep routes. It was a lot of short things to the wide receivers, and you need a corner that can make a tackle. And you know what? Hudson Clark did that. He made a lot of tackles right there around the line of scrimmage, and I thought he played a very good game.
Yeah, based on matchups, and that was one that worked in his favor. But based on matchups and how teams like to operate offensively, he's best as a zone corner, or even if you want to go a step further and say safety. But in zone coverage, that's where he's best, and they were able to do some of that based on what Texas was doing.
Yeah, give him a little help over the top from a deep safety so that, may not get burnt by a corner that's going down. But you just can't sit and play zone the whole game. You want to change things up. And, look, they can change it up and play different types of zone. But from time to time, they're going to bring a blitz, and they're going to put those corners on an island just to give the quarterback and the offense a different look. And so he's got to be able to cover also. But I agree. Putting him in a zone and close to the line of scrimmage, it was a good move for Arkansas. Look, this week, Louisiana Tech is not going to pose a lot of issues through the air. We have heard about Troy Edwards' son. I remember Troy Edwards. In fact, I think I was working in – I know you remember him after he's drafted by the Steelers, but I remember covering him. I didn't cover him personally, but I was in that Shreveport area at the time when he was – lighting up Nebraska and just a heck of a player at Louisiana Tech. And when I saw True Edwards, and I was like, surely that's not Troy Edwards' son, and I kind of dismissed it. And I was watching, I guess it was a Jacksonville State game, and it was brought up that it was his son. I was like, wow, how about that? Tom is really, I feel really old that Troy Edwards' son is in college playing for his alma mater. But True Edwards can run. He had a big play against North Carolina State. Louisiana Tech played them in the non-conference earlier in the season, like week 2 or 3, caught a ball over the middle, broke a tackle, bounced it to the outside, and outran North Carolina State for like a 60, 70-yard touchdown. So he's got a little speed, but Louisiana Tech's not going to make a living throwing the ball against Arkansas.
We hope not.
They should not. They should not. If they do, then there are some
problems.
There are some problems. It is senior day for Arkansas, and they want to send those seniors out the right way, and they want to get that 6th win and become bowl eligible.
It means something to the team. I mean, that'd be 4 out of 5, and it'd be a lot better than not, So I think our kids still enjoy going to postseason. There was several years when they didn't, and so 4 out of 5 opportunities or invites, that'd be good.
It would be very good. Shouldn't complain about any bowl after years of not going to a bowl. But you know what? Win these final 2, it'll be a better bowl possibly. You, instead of being 6-6, be 7-5, and maybe the quality of the bowl goes up.
Let's talk about 7 wins if they get a 6th win. Get a 6th win, you can talk about 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not look ahead.
Don't look ahead to Missouri yet?
No.
Okay, I won't do it. Our question of the day. I'm thinking could be an upset this weekend. Maybe. We've seen upsets in the SEC. That was the stat I gave you earlier, the number of teams that have in the SEC that have beaten a top 10 team or a top 25 team, and no other conference has as many upsets as the SEC this season. 11 SEC teams have at least 1 win versus a ranked team. That leads all conferences by more than double. So some other conference has 5 wins over top 25 teams. and 7 SEC schools have at least one win versus a team ranked in the current top 10. That leads all the other conferences by triple the number. So that would mean the only other conference has 2 wins over top 10 teams, and the SEC has 7. So could there be an upset this week? That is our question of the day on Out of Bounds. You got 4 ranked teams playing, 3 on the road. Florida at Ole Miss at Florida. You got A&M at Auburn and Alabama at Oklahoma. 1 ranked team at home, and that's Texas hosting Kentucky.
And that's why with Texas, they're the only team playing at home. That's why it's a mystery that they're considered to be, not according to the poll now, but at one time they were leading this poll, only team at home, and that's the one that was projected to most get upset.
That's because we saw with our own eyes Texas isn't that good.
Oh, I think there's some hatred for Texas that goes into that, though. But, I mean, you can't let that skew what you really think is going to happen.
Right now, what I got is 43% of our voters think the upset most likely to happen is Florida beating Ole Miss in the Swamp. And that could be a little recency bias because of what they saw last week with Florida beating LSU down in the Swamp. That was an upset because at the time LSU was ranked, and well, it was an upset too according to Bet Saracen. Texas and Kentucky is the next most likely to happen, 30%. Auburn A&M is at 23%, and the least likely, Alabama Oklahoma.
It's probably gotten 1 vote so far because at one time there was 0% that one was going to happen. Now it's 3.3%. So maybe 1 vote out of 60 puts it at 3.3%.
You know, I would probably agree that is the least likely in my book. I would have Alabama out of those 4 teams least likely on upset alert. I think they handle their business and do just okay in Norman. I would worry a little bit about the other 3. A&M Auburn is a very low spread, and that surprises me a little bit. In fact, I asked you that, Joe, when earlier in the week when I first saw that line, I was like, am I the only one thinking that's too low? And you thought it was going to be a lot higher than it was.
Yeah, I thought it would have been about at double digits, at least.
I agree. Ole Miss, Florida. Yeah, I'd go Alabama, Oklahoma. Least likely of those 4 in my book, and to have an upset. Let's check out the D3 Auto Sales text line. Pittman should retire, move to the Lake, and we should hire Rhett Lashley. I just do not want to be Barry Odom. I just don't want it to be Barry Odom. Look, Lashley's getting a lot of love. I saw an article yesterday from one of these websites that covers the Big 12, and they were talking about that was the headline. Could Rhett Lashley leave and head to the SEC? And he's going to be one of those guys, if anybody makes a move, is going to be sought after what he has done to SMU and turned them around. Has SMU ranked in the college football playoff rankings at number 13. Yeah, he's going to be a hot name.
Offensive juggernaut. They score a lot of points, and that's what he's known for. He's former quarterback and offensive mind there, so he has been able to do some good things at SMU.
The college football playoff rankings came out last night. Top 25, 8 SEC teams in the top 25. Missouri at 23, South Carolina at 18. Says a lot, doesn't it? Missouri hardly dropped after losing to South Carolina. Not much at all. Texas A&M is 15, Tennessee 11, Georgia 10, Ole Miss 9, Alabama 7, and Texas is 3. Big Ten has 4 of the top 5. Oregon number 1, Ohio State number 2, Penn number 4, Penn State, and Indiana is number 5. Gives us that matchup this Saturday. Number 5, number 2, Indiana, Ohio State. Did you see the news last night out of Ohio State, the big news?
No, what's the big news?
Their starting center ruptured his Achilles. He's out.
Yeah, hate that injuries anytime, but we know how you feel about the centers from talking to Coach Kevin Kelly.
Talked to him before the show. He's like, man, that's big. That's a big deal. That center makes all those line changes. He's the one up there calling the blocking schemes, changing things up. That's going to hurt him a little bit. Ohio State also lost a starting guard not too long ago, so they had already reshuffled the offensive line once, and that guard is out for the season. So this is a second significant injury, season-ending injury for one of their starting offensive linemen. Like, they're good, and I like Indiana, and I like their offense a lot, but it's still a tough task for Indiana to beat Ohio State. But I love their coach. If anybody can pull off that upset, he's going to have those guys ready and raring to go Saturday, man.
Oh, he has some good lines, too, always.
That is what time is that a night game?
I would doubt it, because remember, based on time zone, No, that's 11 a.m.
Yeah, it is. It's the Fox big noon kickoff game of the week. Dang. I was hoping to be able to watch that game. But I guess I can tailgate, be at the tailgate party, plan to go to see the Razorbacks play as a fan for the first time this year.
Mm-hmm.
Get there a little early and sit there at the tailgate party and watch this game.
You can watch it. Everybody, get on these 11 a.m. games. Nothing wrong with them.
Mm-hmm. The night game, there's not the night game is a 9:30 night game, USC UCLA on NBC. Everything else in the Big Ten is either at 11 or 2:30. And you got the Purdue Michigan State. Oh, that's the game on Fox Friday night. Purdue at Michigan State. Purdue 1-9, Michigan State 4-6. That's a great lead-in for Fearless Friday. What a crappy game. Gosh. All right, Fearless Friday should start around 10:30 Friday night, 10:35, 10:45, somewhere around there. And it is going to be awesome. I set the schedule last night, and we are going to have Josh Berrien going to Conway. You got Rogers and Conway, 7A. We've got Casey Smith, our Northwest Arkansas reporter, going to Pulaski Academy, Fayetteville. Got a reporter going to Joe T. Robinson, Lakeside Joe T. Robinson. I got another reporter going to Mills, Clinton and Mills in 4A. And there's one game I'm forgetting. Oh, Maumelle Parkview. Can't forget that one. It's a great game. Maumelle Parkview, if you're going to that game, don't go to War Memorial Stadium because you'll have the Catholic game. They're playing Mountain Home at War Memorial Stadium.
That should be good also.
That is a good game. Yeah, that is that may be some old school football there. They both throw it a little bit, but that's going to be a lot of running. That'll be that will be a good game, Joe. But Parkview is hosting Maumelle at J.A. Fair. And that's not a high school anymore. I almost said J.A. Fair High School. It's J.A. Fair Middle School? Is that a middle school now?
It is. It's actually K through 8. So kindergarten through 8.
Oh, wow.
Not a true middle school because 6 through 8 middle school. But it's known as a prep school.
I'll just call it J.A. Fair on TV then. That's just, 4 of the games where we're going to be live. We're going all over the state, Northwest Arkansas, Central Arkansas. We're going to Bismarck. We're going to Arkadelphia, Malvern, Glen Rose, Conway Christian, Dardanelle. Oh, Lord. Just trying to think of all the different places. But anyway, Friday night's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk some more high school football with Kyle Sutherland. He'll join us at 3:30. And, of course, we're going to talk some high school football with Todd Escola. They're hosting Lakeside. Joe T. Robinson and Lakeside coming up Friday night. This is from the D3 Auto Sales text line. It is unlikely that there will be any SEC head coaching vacancies this year. It would be a perfect time for Arkansas to hire a new coach because you wouldn't have to compete with the other SEC teams. Well, that's cool. You know what you should do, 501? You should give Hunter your check about $8 million so he could fire Sam Pittman, pay off his salary, and then have some more money for the new head coach that you're going to have to pay more because you're wanting a good, really named coach, right? You're wanting a quality coach, and so you're going to have to pay more for that coach. And then that coach is going to want more money for his NIL, so you got to make sure that NIL fund is set up. So that's a great scenario. You're the only one hiring in the SEC. Just go ahead and give Hunter your check, $8 to $10 million, and yeah, he'll probably do that. He might, he very well would look into it because he's also trying to find $24 million once this NCAA settlement is done, to start paying the student athletes out of the university budget or the athletic department budget.
Yeah, that's something that all schools are going to have to deal with. So once that happens, it's definitely going to change the landscape of what's going on in college sports.
That is why you haven't seen the Power 5 schools making moves right now. If you look at it, the coaches that have been fired are non-Power 5 or Power 4. These are some of the smaller schools that are making the moves right now. Those coaches don't have the huge buyouts. Those coaches aren't going to have the huge salaries. The new head coaches aren't going to have the huge salaries. So they're making those moves right now. You're not seeing the Power 4 making those moves, and it's not a coincidence. I mean, there are teams all across the country, Oklahoma, struggling. I mean, LSU fans are livid right now. Talked to one this morning. Livid.
Well, it's a good thing though, because there's too much impatience overall. So they should have to work through some struggles to see if they can get to the other side of this. Now, the downside is sometimes you make a move too late, and what the administration could consider too late or a year late in this case it could be, but give these coaches a chance. Mm-hmm. The first sign of a down spiral in a program, now everybody's ready to move on, especially in situations where coaches have won for a few seasons and then they have one down year and now it's time to let them go. It shouldn't be like that.
You think if this money issue that's lingering over all the athletic directors' heads wasn't there, that Florida State would have made a move by now? You think Coach Norvell would have been in trouble?
Yeah, well, he still could be in trouble.
Yeah, could. Yeah. They better win this week. So they're like a 30 or 40-point favorite playing some non-conference game, and then they got the big one with Florida in the last week. But I think he's okay. I mean,
and just because we've gotten to this point in the season and there haven't been those major moves made, that doesn't mean that after that last game there's still going to be some moves made.
Yeah, I think there'll be some. And look, there'll be some schools where their donors come together and make it possible for that AD to make that move. And, if you want someone bad or you want someone gone bad enough, you see that all the time. I mean, that's what happened at A&M. The donor stepped up and said, yeah, get rid of Jimbo. We'll pay it off. And we'll help you with the next head coach. Get rid of him. Let's take a phone call real quick before we get to Coach Escola. JD joins us from Austin. What's up, JD?
Hey, so a point that I would like to make is, as I'm not saying that the money's not an issue, especially with the deal that's coming next year, revenue sharing and all that. I understand that, but it also does seem to be public knowledge that if Pittman were to lose to Louisiana Tech, almost like a magic wand, the money would be there to fire him, because it's generally a consensus that if he lost this game and then got smashed by Missouri, they would almost certainly be making a change. So which one is it? Do they have it or do they not have the money?
I think, JD, what you're hearing, and you answered it, people that want him gone would
then pony up.
Yes. That would be the straw that broke the camel's back. I think they're like, you know what, let's just give him another year. We think we see progress. Then that happens, they'll be like, all right, enough's enough. Here's the money.
Well, going into the season, the talk was anything short of being bowl eligible, there were going to be some problems. Mm-hmm. And in that scenario, you lose out, you're not going to be bowl eligible.
Hey, I just want to say this for the record, too. There's nobody that's been more critical of Pittman than JD from Austin, okay? But legitimately, what everybody needs to understand, everybody with pitchforks, including myself, is the best case scenario for this team would be beat Louisiana Tech, beat Missouri, win the bowl game, have 8 wins under your belt, get some momentum going into next year, and allow Pittman to ride off in the sunset after 25 and have some steam and momentum behind the team and the program. That's best case scenario. Do y'all agree with that?
I think you nailed it, JD.
What we need to happen.
That's the kind of the, well, it's not Mike Anderson going off in the sunset, but that is kind of the same scenario with basketball. Build the program up, make it respectable, make it an attractive place to coach,
and
to where the coach retired and wasn't fired. You know, coaches talk. You know, when coaches don't get a fair chance, then that makes it leery for some other guys to come there, and unless you're going to pay them big money, right? And I don't think Arkansas is going to pay big money. So if you have a coach that kind of walks off in the sunset, a good story, you're following that up, it's a solid program, yes, you nailed it. That's the best case scenario.
Yep.
JD, good call. Guys. Thanks.
Why wouldn't they pay big money, though? If you're making a change, that's just how it works now. No coach is going to make big money.
I mean, like top tier money. SEC top tier money. 9, 10, 11 million.
Well, it depends on who you get. And, you know, we haven't seen a pattern where Arkansas is able to land these top coaches. So that's where it comes into play.
Could have, but they didn't want to get into a bidding war with Ole Miss because of money.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll talk something a little better. High school football. Todd Escola coming up next, head coach of those Robinson Senators. It's Out of Bounds.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Kentucky stayed undefeated, beating Lipscomb 97-68 behind Jackson Robinson's 20 points on 6 of 10 from the field. Florida beat Florida A&M 84-60. Will Richard led the way with 20 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists. Georgia rolled up Alabama A&M 93-45. They were led by star freshman Asa Newell, who had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Then LSU beat Charleston Southern 77-68 behind freshman Victorious Miller's 19 points off the bench. Miller is the son of rapper Silk the Shocker and the nephew of Master P. Tonight in the SEC, 23rd-ranked Texas A&M will host Southern at 7 on SEC Network Plus, and 8th-ranked Alabama will host 25th-ranked Illinois at 8 on the SEC Network. Arkansas will face Illinois on Thanksgiving. And Little Rock will take on Tulsa tonight at 7 on ESPN Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You don't have to go through yet another year of that knee pain or back pain. People with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. Hey everybody, it's RJ. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. Their unique protocols use healing agents from your own body to target those aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue the natural way. So think about this. You'll be able to move again with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Got shoulder pain? Excruciating hip pain? If you have any arthritis pain or lingering pain from an injury, do not let them operate on you or give you more steroids. Say no to the pain pills, but instead, you need to call QC Kinetics. People are raving about these treatments all over Central Arkansas. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as next week. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440.
This is Pat Bradley, and I'll be on Morning Mayhem Weekly with Baz, Roger, and Justin, presented by Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. Apply for your next mortgage loan with Matt Jones at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Now serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Fall in Arkansas. It's Friday night lights, tailgates, sweater weather. You know it. The Crane team knows it. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, every vehicle with the Crane Team name is committed to your satisfaction. And with 17 locations and America's favorite brands, you can worry less about how you'll get there and just enjoy the moment. Visit us today or shop over 3,500 new vehicles online at craneteam.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free insurance review, see Shelter agent Jeff Hodge or Jay Hellman, Little Rock, or Bo Beavis in Cabot.
Sanders Ground Essentials presents Belinda Mayo when she joins Morning Mayhem each Thursday morning. Sanders Ground Essentials, where great lawns start today. On the web at sandersground.com. It's Melinda Mayo each Thursday with Morning Mayhem on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
We're back. Glad you're with us. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin, Out of Bounds. Let's talk some high school football. Round 2 of the playoffs, Friday night. Good one out of Joe T. Robinson. Senators hosting Lakeside. Joe T's head coach Todd Escola with us now on Out of Bounds. Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Hey, Wes, it's going well.
You ready? Y'all ready for Friday night?
We need 2 more days of prep. Lakeside's got a great bunch, and it's going to be a great football game Friday night.
I've been impressed with Lakeside. We've covered them several times this year, and they do. They have a good team. What's the biggest challenge when trying to stop Lakeside offensively?
Well, actually, the biggest challenge is when you play somebody twice in 1 year. You know, it makes it difficult to beat anybody twice in the same year. We played them, our third non-conference game, and we got to see each other firsthand up and personal, and so it's 2 really good football teams. We turned it over a couple times that game and gave up some big plays, and it's coach speak, but those are the 2 biggest deals. You can't turn the ball over, especially late in the year in the playoffs, and you can't give up those real big chunk plays. And we did both of those. We gave up a couple of turnovers, and they had 3 or 4 deep passes they completed in that first game that were a big factor in that game. So we've got to limit that.
Coach, has been said that when you do play a team for a second time, you beat them that first time around, you go in as that winning team, pretty much trying to do what you did the first time around. The losing team, they're the one that they make the most adjustments there. Do you agree with that? And when you see these games, a rematch type situation?
Not really. Both teams are going to look at what they had success doing and look at, how the other team combated that. We played a really good first half against them the first time we played and had a good lead at halftime, and then they made some plays in the second half and got the lead in the fourth quarter, and we had to come back and win it in the fourth quarter. But a bunch has changed. We were looking at our stat sheet, and we were 5 of 15 throwing the football the first game,
Wow.
and we didn't have a passing attack. And I think we've thrown in the last 4 games, we've thrown for over 1,000 yards just in the last 4 weeks. So we're much more of a multi-dimensional team now offensively, and they've changed as well. So I think it was so long ago that a lot has changed with both teams. I think our completion rate the last 4 or 5 weeks is about 75%. So we've shown we can throw the football now, where I think then we were a lot more one-dimensional. And so I think a lot of that first game goes out the window. Schematically, we're not going to change who we are. They're not going to change who they are. I think it's just, who plays the cleanest and who doesn't turn the ball over.
What did that game come down to, that first matchup where you were able to come away with a win? What got you over the top?
I think our kids didn't panic. They've done a great job all year of when adversities strike on a Friday night, they just keep playing hard. We got down big to PA in the first week, had 4 turnovers, I think, that game, and our kids battled back, and we got the ball back with 3 or 4 minutes to go to cut it to a 1-score game, and that was after all the turnovers, but there was no panic. I think when things didn't go our way the first time, the kids just kind of kept their cool. They didn't freak out. We got down in the fourth quarter, and when I looked at on the sideline for the drive that ultimately we took the lead again, there was no panic. every kid just went out and of course we preach that as a program. Just worry about us, don't worry about them. If we screw up, let it go and try to get better each play. It just showed the kids bought into that. And I think that was the biggest difference in the first game with us able to overcome, is there was just no panic. It was just keep playing and keep trying to do better on the next snap.
I was looking at your last 4 games, 49 points, 33 points, 37 points, 42 points. 3 of those 4 games were against playoff teams. And the fourth, where you only scored 33 points, was against Pine Bluff. And many have told us that may be one of the best defenses in 5A. So your offense is clicking. What's been the difference?
I think just the kids being more comfortable with the system. The kids we had some new pieces come in this year, and it takes a while for all that to gel together. Our quarterback, Tyson Braden, has been playing out of his mind. He's just really playing well, making good reads, good decisions, making use of check downs, which a lot of high school quarterbacks don't do, recognizing coverages. Offensive line has played well. And, a lot of those games, we were fortunate enough that we got to pull our kids out, at halftime or in the third quarter, and didn't have to score anymore and let our young kids play. So a lot of those scores were the offense being able to do that in 2 or 2.5 quarters, which was nice. And you're right about Pine Bluff. Their front seven was as good as anybody. They're unreal.
Throughout the season, you've had a winning streak after game 1. So how's that been for players where week in, week out, they're coming away with a victory and they're able to celebrate after each and every game?
Well, winning's always better than losing. That's in any sport. It's easier to keep them motivated when you're winning, but we just preach one game at a time. We told the kids before we kicked off at PA that this was the worst team we would field all year long. And our goal every week is just to get better than the week before. And, if we've been able to do that thus far, and if we continue on that track, we like our chances. But, we've got to get better. We didn't play real well last week. It was a little bit of a step back from what we've played the last few weeks. And so we're hoping to make improvements this week. And if we do, then we'll take our chances Friday night.
Todd Escola with us, head coach at Joe T. Robinson. And, Coach, I saw a really cool story from the Little Rock Touchdown Club for the Ken Hatfield Sportsmanship Award, and you had nominated Caroline Whitman. Tell our listeners about Caroline Whitman and why she was nominated for this award.
Well, that award is supposed to go to an unsung hero in your program. They specifically say, don't give it to a superstar, don't give it to one of your great players, give it to somebody that kind of flies under the radar but means something. And Caroline showed up in my office a couple of years ago and just wanted to come be a manager. And she's just, from day one, whatever she can do to help the program, she's done. She works our signs on Friday night. She signals in plays with me during practice. She signals in plays with me during the game. She's communicating on the sideline. She helps our athletic trainer. She helps set up the field, take down stuff, put up stuff. It's anything she can do to help the program, and she's really invaluable. I mean, when you get an athlete, a student on campus that's that bought into the program to help in any way she can, as far as just helping the program run. She's a class act on the field, off the field. Just a great young lady, and I was really, really happy to be able to honor her and all she's meant to our program through that award.
And I guess she had to step up her game at the Maumelle game?
Yeah, Maumelle was awful because, of course, with that coaching staff, having played for me and several of them coached with us, we didn't get to use signals that game. We had to change everything we did. It was the worst night of the year for the coaches on our sideline just because we had to do things so differently just to keep a level playing field. And that was frustrating because we had to do some crazy stuff that night, but I'm glad that one's over.
Coach, I want to go back to you saying last week against Valonia didn't play well. Most would look at that score, 42-14, see a dominant performance just from that score. What were some of the things that stood out where you say you didn't necessarily play well?
Just the standard we set for ourselves, the defense getting off the field on third downs and offense, finishing drives and not making the costly mistakes. We didn't play clean. And when we watched film, it just wasn't up to our standard. And we want to be able to go in and finish. And we didn't feel like we finished that game the way we wanted to. Even though the game was, in hand on the scoreboard, we wanted to to make sure that not only our ones but our twos finish the game the right way and continue to make their blocks and make their fits and go through their progressions and go through their reads. And we just didn't feel like we executed at a high enough level last week.
Coach, when you get with Lakeside, we talked about their offense. What about their defense and their challenge that you're having to face this week?
They're going to bring a lot of pressure. Their defensive coordinator and their kids do a great job schematically. They're going to show you some man. They're going to show you some zone. They're very physical. They fly to the football. They're sound. It's just a matter of execution, realizing that when you play a defense like that, you're going to have good plays, you're going to have bad plays, and just don't put yourself behind the sticks and execute. And then it's a lot about turnovers. The 2 turnovers we had against them the first time, killed momentum, led them back in the game. We can't have that. I think if you don't turn the ball over, you're going to have an opportunity for some good plays.
Coach, I know you're proud of Marion Harris, former Joe T. Senator, and had to make a position change, go from left guard to right tackle. He's had his moments, got beat against Texas last week for a sack. I think we all saw that. But, man, I love the future for this kid. I think they found his position at right tackle. What do you think of what you've seen?
I think, number one, first and foremost, he's a tremendous young man, tremendous human being. He's one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet, always has been, great family. When he went up there and Coach Pittman was recruiting him and, from high school, I told Coach Pittman he's not going to be ready for 3 years. You got to give him 3 years to work on his body, mature, get to that SEC level. But he's done a great job. He did a great job at guard. I was really happy with him there. When you move from inside to outside at that level, you're going to struggle. And that's what I hope people understand is he made a move to that one of the most difficult positions to play at the high level in the middle of the season. And so he hadn't had the training, he hadn't had the reps. So it's almost like you've got a team that's in week 9-10 playing against Texas and these great programs. And for him at tackle, he's getting reps as a week 1 kid. And so it's really difficult. I'm super proud of him. He's going to keep battling. He's going to keep getting better. He can play all 5 positions on the offensive line. That's why I think he's got a future in professional football someday. Because he's going to be so versatile. But I think he's going to continue to improve, and I agree with you. I think long-term the tackle position is where he's going to make his money, and I think he'll get better each week. And it wasn't a pretty week last week, but you're going to have those when you switch positions at that level.
Yeah, and that Texas defensive end was pretty fast, too.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Pretty good. Coach, hey, we appreciate your time. Thanks for carving out some space for us today. Best of luck Friday night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Fixing to go join the kids in the weight room.
Awesome. Have fun. Enjoy it.
All right.
Todd Escola with us on Out of Bounds. When we come back, we will open things up. Got one more chance to take some phone calls. You want to jump in here, talk high school football, college football, Razorback basketball? It's open, 661-1037. We're also talking about SEC upsets this week. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
This Christmas, celebrate the place you call home and those who share it with you. From your biggest projects to the smallest details, Greenway has the perfect gift for every member of your family. Check out our Home for the Holidays deals on John Deere equipment, tools, workshop items, apparel, toys, and more. Going on now through Christmas. Check off everyone on your list today at your local Greenway or online at gogreenway.com.
The circle of life includes death. For wills, trusts, and probate matters, there's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas started with 50, then 30. Now we've reached the final days. Looking for 20 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall savings event and receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is looking to evaluate our exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including our revolutionary new laser etch shower wall system. That's right. You'll be compensated for your time just to determine if our exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. Final days. 20 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments. Senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Starbucks gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Hi, everybody. Jay Leno here. You know, I love doing live stand-up comedy. No politics, no lectures. I'm not giving you my opinion on every issue of the day. Just nothing but jokes. So come by, check it out, and we'll have a lot of fun. Oh, it's clean, too.
Jay Leno live on stage, Saturday, March 1st, Oaklawn Event Center in Hot Springs. Tickets are on sale now at oaklawn.com. Jay Leno Live. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Come on by. Check out the show.
Hey, if I have a special offer from Genesis of Conway, do I really need to do it like normal car ads and yell at you? Let's try this. Right now, Genesis of Conway is holding a signature event. $1,000 signature bonus cash on every vehicle. This includes the 2025 model GV80 and GV70. Those are the new arrivals. Amazing, I know. See, I didn't need to shout. Oh, but you will when you discover Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury, today. I gotta believe that if they'd had a Petit Jean ham at that first Thanksgiving, we'd now have an overpopulation of turkeys this time of year. We'd all be demanding that hickory smoke flavor of Petit Jean. We'd then have the perfect companion to Aunt Marge's sweet potato casserole. Aunt Marge would even wonder why you hadn't thought of it before, and why you keep calling her Aunt Marge when that's not her name. Be different. Be you. Be a champion by visiting your favorite grocer or supercenter for a Thanksgiving ham from Petit Jean. Your family will taste the difference. Oh, they'll love the difference.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Finish up this next hour. Go to the D3 Auto Sales text line. Phone line's open if you want to jump in. Drew in Little Rock asks, where did LSU's coach come from? Guess you're talking about Brian Kelly. He came from Notre Dame.
I wonder, were they talking about football, basketball?
Could be basketball. Saw them playing last night. A highlight. God, blocked a shot, was going out of bounds. The LSU player blocked a shot. It was goaltending. Blocked a shot, going out of bounds.
It wasn't if it didn't get called.
The player saves it, throws it, and it was just a perfect lead pass to a guard streaking down the court in front of three defenders, catches it, goes up in one motion, lays it in. It was an awesome play from one end of the court to the other. And I saw their coach, and I was like, who is that guy? What's his name again? Where'd he come from? Maybe that's what Drew's talking about.
They're talking about.
501 asks, Wes, how much is the U of A paying you? Nothing. Sounds like you've joined the U of A propaganda team of Bo and Chuck. Good job, comrade. I hate that I'm just giving you the facts and you don't like the facts, but the simple truth is it's money. It all comes down to money. Yeah, you want to get rid of Pittman? That's fine. but you got to pay a buyout. And right now, they're more worried about coming up with $24 million to pay their student athletes if and when this comes down. It comes to simple finances and budgets. They have a budget just like you do. I'm guessing you do. Just like my family does. You got to balance the books. And yes, it sounds easy. Just fire the dude, pay him off. They don't have a ton of money. Money is an issue. Now, if they had some donors that stepped up and said, hey, we'll give you the money to fire Pittman, we'll give you the money to hire a new coach, we'll give you the money to have a nice big fat NIL fund for that new coach, he's going to want that. That would make it a lot simpler. So unless you're willing to do that, I don't think it's happening. Unless something drastically changes. Steve says, Wes, I'm glad we didn't get into a bidding war with Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin.
Why not?
He's winning. He's doing a good job. But he also, remember, Kiffin stood up and was like, I got to have the NIL. We got to do a better job.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked for the NIL funds. And they gave it to him. And look at the team that he's got.
No matter how you feel about a coach initially on the front side, if you want that coach as a hire or not, if a coach gets there and wins, that cures everything.
We talk a lot about more NIL money. I put a lot of blame on Oakland. When Saracen offered to start a 50-50 raffle, that would help all the schools in the state to fight against it. LP, thanks, LP. Yeah, they're still – I know it's still going on. I think there's a new bill that's coming to the state that would create a 50-50 but it would be from an outside source and the casinos wouldn't handle it. There's a little controversy around it, and I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I'm staying out of that argument. I'm not going there. That's politics. I don't get into politics. How about KJ sitting in the stands during the Texas game? I heard that, and this is from the IG. It's KJ from his Instagram account, and he's at the game.
He may still have a place or people he's close to in Fayetteville.
Well, yeah, we know he's got some friends in Fayetteville, I'm sure, and maybe some teammates.
I was talking about maybe a romantic.
A woman there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that word was filtering around. You know, he's KJ. People know what he looks like, and I saw it on Twitter. A couple people saying KJ's at the game, but I never saw a picture of him. I just saw people saying there was one picture, but I couldn't make it out. You know, it wasn't a great quality picture.
Now, if UCF didn't have a game last week, that's fine. If they had a game, then that's a different story.
Steve says, realizing how much money it takes to get rid of a coach just puts much more emphasis on making the right hire to begin with. Yeah. And the contracts and the buyouts and being smart with renegotiating the contracts and the buyouts. It's a lot of pressure. Rick's in East Arkansas. What's up, Rick?
Hey, I just want to let y'all know, beginning of the season, that, I bet the world on 4.5 wins, and I said we'd go at least 7-5.
Still got a chance.
Maybe a bowl game. And hey, I'm still there. We're going to win. Hey, we're going to win 7 games, and hey, I think Pittman and his staff's done a great job. And I've owned Pittman. If he wants to retire and go out, that's fine. But I am for him, and they're going to win, and they're going to win a bowl game. And that's what I got to say today. I'm for Pittman. Let's go. Let's go to Hall.
Steve, Rick, great call. Thank you. I wouldn't say the coaching staff's done a great job this year. I'd say they've done an okay job. Turnovers have been ugly. Fix the turnover problem. Fix the offensive line problem. They took a step to fix the secondary last week. But I can't say they've done a great job. They're a 500 team. I mean, their record is their record. They're 5-5, right? They're 3-4 in the SEC with a chance to go 4-4. Win out 7-5. Be an okay job. better than most people. I would say 80% of the people never would have guessed 7-5. All right, coming up next, we got what's trending. Talk a little bit about the NFL. Also coming up, Kyle Sutherland at 3:30 at the bottom of the hour. We'll take a look at the high school football playoffs, the big picture. Just 32 games this week, I believe it is. 4, 8, 12, 16, 16, 32.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmett Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Our guys aren't so bad, right?
This is taking unsportsmanlike conduct to a whole new level.
Well, maybe not. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
Heads up to all you lotto players. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is warning people to watch out for scammers. Scammers have been calling people saying they may have won hundreds of thousands of dollars and a new Chevy Equinox. But you have to call a different number and give your name and tax ID number to get it. If you get one of these calls, do not call the number they provide and do not give out your personal information. Real lottery officials say they will never contact you directly if you won. The U of A and the University of Oxford are working to make Arkansas's historical data digital. Attorney General Tim Griffin is partnering with both universities to digitize historic documents. One of those is the state constitution, which was handwritten and ratified in 1874. The information will be stored in a database for the University of Oxford's Quill Project. It serves as a portal for legal research for all 50 states and the federal government. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Roger Scott is at it again with his Razorback Song of the Week, presented by Dr. Jimmy Tucker at Ortho, Arkansas. Join Morning Mayhem each week as the smooth, dulcet tones of Roger Scott bring you his Razorback Song of the Week. It's all brought to you by Dr. Jimmy Tucker at Ortho, Arkansas, and your fun and game station 103.7 The Buzz.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Joel Young.
Skies remain clear through the night into Thursday morning, and temperatures are going to be cold, down to 40 degrees with a slight northwest breeze about 8 to 12 miles per hour. Then Thursday, we're sunny and only slightly warmer than average. Temperatures up to about 64 degrees. Then Thursday night, even colder into the upper 30s by Friday morning. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Joel Young.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Darren McFadden is back for another season of college football with the guys from Morning Mayhem. D-Mac is known as the best running back in Razorback history. Darren McFadden is presented by Fortified Building Solutions. Need a new metal roof, wall, or building products? Go see our friends at Fortified Building Solutions in Benton or at FortifiedBuildingSolutions.com.
I was happier than a Razorback fan at that final when I borrowed $25,000 for home improvements, and it took me less than 1 day with Telco Credit Union. If you've been putting off replacing your furnace, roof, or just an overall home refresh, this is your sign to run, don't walk, to my friends at Telco Credit Union. Call 501-375-5321 or visit telco.com today and tell them Coach Z sent you right from Bud Walton Arena.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades, and that commitment is paid off.
with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See shelter agents Monica Reiners or Brian Kress in North Little Rock, or Jamie Marsh in Little Rock.
Black Friday, Brown Friday, Blue Friday, Floral Friday, doesn't matter. It's all priced just right at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, where comfort meets style. No matter what color it is, through December 2nd, save up to 50% on select items, 35% on sectionals, plus 30% off store-wide. The color choice and style are all yours. Shop extended hours to outfit any room in your home at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
This month at Gwatney Chevrolet, you could be eligible to make no payments for 90 days. That's right, qualified buyers don't pay on new purchases at Gwatney Chevrolet until 2025. If you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, now is the perfect time to buy. It could be yours with no payments until next year. Want to find out if you qualify? Give Gwatney Chevrolet a call at 501-982-2102 or come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
For 54 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility essentials, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. And ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at sigmasupply.com. And do not forget to call sales manager David Breitenberg at 1-800-264-1661 and ask for the Buzz discount. Remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply, you've got low-grade products. Man.
Listen for Champs and Chumps Fridays during the Zone. Brought to you by D.R. Horton, America's #1 home builder. Currently building homes in Maumelle and Alexander. Find them online at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton is an equal housing builder.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real? Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. And it's made a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PEC to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PEC to 321-321.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz. Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Last night, I was watching the, like I said earlier, the Central Michigan, Western Michigan game, a little Maction. And I looked over on the sideline for Central Michigan. It was Jim McElwain. Remember old McElwain from his Florida Gator days? They got the win. First time, it had been 2 years, three. Yeah, Western Michigan had won 2 years in a row, the big trophy game. In fact, Central Michigan only won once in the last 5 years. Central Michigan wins. And today, McElwain announces he's retiring. He's going out a winner. Well, I guess they got one more game. But Jim McElwain is going to retire after decades of college football coaching. Oh, he's with Jim Harbaugh. He's a former Jim Harbaugh staffer. Anyway, he's going to move into a new position as special assistant to the athletic director. So Central Michigan looking for a new head coach. Joe, you're going to have to play this. I'm stuck over here. I don't know what's going on.
It won't change.
Nothing, Will.
All right. Well, we've seen that Josh Allen has played well this season, and he's played well in previous seasons, but seems to be playing at a different level, and there's MVP talk for him. Here's Tom Brady on Josh Allen.
Tom, what do you see in Josh's maturation?
Making good quality decisions, managing the game, not putting your team at risk on every single play. There's other guys, it's like one good play, one bad play, one good play, one bad play. And then everyone goes, oh man, I love the physical potential of this. And I'm like, well, I don't like the fact that every time he does something well, 4 plays later, he does something that's not good. And that's too hard to overcome. If you're a great player, it's your ability to make good and great plays consistently well over the course of the game. Everybody in the NFL makes plays. Everybody can make a great play, can run fast, can jump high, can catch the ball, can make tackles. It's how often can you do it? To me, that's what determines how great you are or how good you are or how average you are. If it's really great and really bad, you're average. But if it's really great and good or great, well, then you're a great player. Everybody can make great plays. Can you be a great player over time, every day, not just on the game field, but in the practice environment as well to gain the trust of everybody? That's what the team really needs to count on.
See your MVP right now?
Right now, he's up there. Trying to think who else would be.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. They're still there. Now, both of them just Lamar Jackson took a loss. Jared Goff played bad in a win, but overall, they played really well this year.
According to Bet Saracen, the favorite to win the MVP right now is Josh Allen at plus 120. Lamar Jackson's next at plus 170. Jared Goff at plus 575. Patrick Mahomes plus 1,100. Jalen Hurts plus 1,200. Why is Jared Goff? Why is there that big gap? Because of the numbers that he's putting up and that offense for Detroit. I'm surprised that he's not a little higher up, closer in the odds.
He's not. I mean, he's putting up good numbers, but their run game is really good. So it's not just him. It's a combo of their passing, their running. They can do it all. They're complete on offense.
That stat he had for a while, he had more touchdown passes than incompletions for a 3-game stretch. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was really good. Jerry Jones asked about if Cowboys coaching staff gives an advantage.
Do you think this coaching staff gives you an advantage, a coaching advantage week to week?
Well, I would say this. Our competition has, they pay their guys too. And but that's a fair question. And I know how hard this staff works. And I think there's some outstanding coaches on this staff. And it don't get. You can believe that they've got many ways to come in and make adjustments to try to improve where we are, and they'll be doing that continually.
You can tell Jerry was searching there. He was trying to come up with an answer, and not sure that anybody was buying what he was selling.
Jerry, does your coaching staff give you the advantage every week?
Well, he couldn't simply say no.
Couldn't he just say yes? I believe in these guys and the game plan that they put up?
Is Jerry the type that's going to give a yes or no answer? No, he's not. And speaking of that Cowboys coaching staff and some of the changes that could happen with Mike McCarthy being on an expiring contract, Michael Irvin was asked about Deion Sanders and would he be willing to coach Cowboys.
That if Shador went to the Cowboys, Deion would accept the job.
I believe 100%, and I can tell you, good sources have told me that. Great sources have told me that. That's all I can say like that without violating anything else.
So he's saying he's heard directly from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, that with a certain scenario, with that situation being intact, Cowboys draft Shador Sanders, that makes a perfect jump for him where he does take that next step because he's been there with Shador every step of the way from youth football all the way through. Now, he was asked about Colorado and if he'd be looking to move at this point, and of course, coaches are going to give those standard answers. Now, I do believe with Deion, Coach Prime, that if there's another college job, I believe he's satisfied with what's happening there. They're in position to win a Big 12 championship, and with everything being equal, if the AD and administration step up at Colorado, and we're talking about another college job, I believe he has been truthful and realistic in the fact that he's happy where he is, and money isn't a factor. I believe he would stay. But if you're talking about this dream scenario with Shedeur getting drafted and then him becoming the head coach, that changes everything.
Michael Irvin tweeted out yesterday morning, quote, "I spent Friday night with Jerry Jones. I spent Saturday with Deion Sanders. I spent Sunday with the Lord praying for question marks." Guess what?
He wants it all to fall into place.
Now, after what the Dallas Cowboys look like on Monday Night Football, I must work harder. And it's a picture of him and Jerry Jones Friday night, a picture of him and Deion Saturday, and then a picture of two hands praying to God.
All right, well, we'll see what happens there. Also, with what's happening with Jets, Aaron Rodgers, that's a big story as we get to the end of the season. They're 3-8 at this point. So 11 games in, they have 7 left, or 6 left. They have 6 games left, and not likely that they're going to make playoffs, but there's still some belief out there that they can go on a 6-game win streak and be in a position here to possibly make the playoffs. But there's a report by Connor Hughes that says that Aaron Rodgers will not be returning to the Jets. And there was even a headline out there today that week 4, Woody Johnson, Jets owner, went to some of the Jets players and talked to them about possibly benching Aaron Rodgers at the time. Week 4 now. He was one to put Aaron Rodgers on the bench because he wasn't seeing the results that he thought they were capable of. But here's Connor Hughes and what he has to say about Aaron Rodgers.
We've talked a lot about how they're going to be looking for a new coach. We knew about that. They're going to be looking for the new general manager. We've known that. It's very clear now that this organization is also going to want to find a new quarterback as well. That the Aaron Rodgers season tenure with the Jets is going to be over because they're not going to find a coach handpicked by him. And if you think about why Aaron Rodgers came here in the first place, Janae, it was because he came here because Nathaniel Hackett was already here. He didn't want new. He didn't want different. He didn't want to be overly challenged. He wanted what he knew and what he was comfortable with. Like, not NEW, KNEW. Like, he wanted what he already was familiar with and understood. He didn't want different like he had with Matt LaFleur. Even though he had wild success with Matt LaFleur, he wanted what he was more comfortable with. He wanted the players that he was comfortable with the Allen Lazards and the Devontae Adams and all of these players that he was Randall Cobb when he was here. He wanted those guys. It's not going to be a situation this offseason where if they hire a director of football operations, if they hire him or the GM or whatever, they're not going to be going to Aaron and saying, hey, we want your input on the coach. It's not. And in my opinion, after the year, whether it's a cut or whatever, Aaron's going to be looking for another team to play for in 2025.
Do you think he plays in 2025?
That's up in the air, and especially if we're talking about with a different team, I think at this point maybe he just calls it a career.
That's what I see too. I would be surprised if he ended up with another team and tries to make another go at it, unless it was a good team that had all the pieces except for they were just missing a quarterback.
Would another team take on what can be perceived from the outside as a headache and having a lot of different issues that you have to deal with to please a player like Aaron Rodgers? Because as they talked about, you're making roster moves to bring in some of the guys he's familiar with. Coaching is always going to be at question. Would an organization want to deal with that?
Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing through the NFL teams, and the good teams that have pieces that you would think that would be able to make a run, they have their quarterback. I mean, like a team like the Giants are going to be looking for a quarterback. That's not a fit. He's not.
He wouldn't have to go anywhere.
No, but
and you know what's funny about that? There was already talk about Daniel Jones and the possibility of going crosstown to the Jets because they're like, well, that guy he wouldn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see it. To me, the bad teams either have a young quarterback and they're looking to move on, or looking to give that guy some experience, or they're looking to move on with a younger quarterback. The only scenario I could see, Joe, is like if he
Cowboys.
No, if he goes like into semi-retirement, and then a good team has their quarterback go out, like Mahomes at Kansas City or even Buffalo, and they need that type of guy that could step in and play right away and give them that chance, surrounded by a lot of talent, a lot of good players, and still have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. They're just missing that quarterback. That's the only scenario I could see.
NBA Cup. It continued on last night, Tuesdays and Fridays, throughout the month of November. And Celtics, they get a win over undefeated Cavs. Cavs were 15-0.
Tatum, he's fouled. He lays it in. And a chance at three for Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, Mitchell picked him up. He dishes to Tatum, and Tatum rips the cords on a three-pointer. Late clock here. Tatum drives and hammers it down. With Brown, Tatum, and Horford, the five on the floor for the Celtics. Tatum drives it. Tatum, strong finish. Down to three. Mitchell, no. Mobley. And that's it. The shot will count, but it's not enough for Cleveland.
I was looking at this last night. You may know it. Do you know how many teams in the Eastern Conference have a winning record?
4?
4. 4 teams in the Eastern Conference have a winning record. Do you know how many teams have a winning record in the Western Conference?
Probably 8 or 9.
11. 11. How deep is the Western Conference? And then you look how top-heavy is the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but that also could be a case of some of these teams beating up on one another. And when you look at a team like Sixers, everything on paper, they have everything in place to be a winning team. They haven't had the combo on the floor with some of their top players all playing at the same time. And they're digging a hole right now that's going to be tough to get out of unless they go on some of these long winning streaks, 8, 9, 10 games at a time once they have all these guys together. So, that's one of the teams that you would depend on to be one of those upper echelon type teams, and they're just not that because they don't have the players playing.
2-11 right now. The 8th place team in the East would be 6-8 Indiana. So that's 3.5 games.
Bucks got off to a slow start. They seem to have played a little bit better here recently.
Yeah, I did not realize they were 5-9. I just happened to glance at the standings last night, and I saw Milwaukee's record, and I was like, wow, I didn't know they were off to such a bad start. So it was even worse for a while. They're 4-6 in their last 10, so they've rightened the ship a little bit.
Lakers are defending NBA Cup champs, Emirates NBA Cup champs, and they've yet to lose an NBA Cup game. Last night, they beat Utah Jazz, and Dalton Connect, rookie, had a game.
Yes, he did.
79-68. Once again, they bring it down to 11 and Connect.
Looks like they're staying in the zone.
Connect, gonna fire it up again. Got it! On fire! Connect 4 for 3.
Back-to-back hoop spot Connect. They've got to be something different.
Another one! Dalton Connect!
Same spot.
You got Williams
out of the zone now.
Here he is. Connect. Thought about it.
He's going up.
He's going on its way. Down it goes! Yes, sir! Show off a little bit, Dalton.
Someone put a video of all of his baskets just back to back to back last night. And in the beginning, it was the Lakers setting him up in the corner, and he hit a couple, like 3 straight in a row from that corner spot.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't doing it. He was just sitting outside, and somebody would drive kick, or they'd drive kick pass, wide open threes. And then the confidence growing in him, went to the basket a couple of times, had a couple of dunks. And then you see all of a sudden, instead of them setting him up, he had the ball. And he would maybe get a screen, or he would go over the screen. Just started popping. Then a couple of times he's just taking heat checks. And it's just like, it was a perfect example of how a rookie, gets a couple easy shots, sees the ball go in the hole, goes to the rim, gets a couple shots, then all of a sudden he's feeling it. And he just starts firing it up over the top of guys.
And what changed there, that's J.J. Redick effect. J.J. Redick, he's a really good basketball mind, and he was a shooter, and he sees what's working there, so let's get the ball in his hands. And also, he's had a philosophy this season about taking the ball out of LeBron's hands so much as far as bringing the ball up the court. He wants other players to do that and set up LeBron. Now, LeBron still does some of it, but it's at a much lower percentage, and he seems to be thriving with that and playing a lot better. He's more efficient altogether. And so, J.J. Redick, he's seeing what's working and just going with it there. And Dalton Connect, he wears number 4. So that nickname that they have for him, Connect 4, just fell into place with the way he's playing. But that left wing seems to be his spot. That's where he hit a number of those threes last night.
Mm-hmm. Kind of top by the elbow.
Yeah.
He started baseline on that right side, top of your screen in the corner, and hit a couple of those, and then his shot chart just started flowing around the top of towards the top of the key. But it changed. It went from them setting him up to with the ball up at the top, working it, getting a screen. They were just like, dude, it's a hot hand. Let's go. Ride him.
Career high 37 in the game last night.
Impressive.
Charles Barkley. Now, we heard from Barkley from years ago making fun of people working at ESPN and that you see the same people at night, you see them in the morning, they're always being overworked. Well, after sources have come out to say Inside the NBA is moving to ESPN, here's Charles Barkley joking about that.
Hey, it's Inside the NBA presented by Kia from Studio J in Atlanta, where it's 11:57.
Kenny, 12:30. I got a bet for right? Times have changed, Kenny. We got to go back to kissing ass.
And one of the greats in tennis, Rafael Nadal, he mentioned before that he was retiring, and after Davis Cup event in Spain, he officially retired, or with Spanish national team, he officially retired.
The titles, the numbers, are there. So people probably know that, but the way that I would like to be remembered more is like a good person from a small village in Mallorca that I had the luck that I had my uncle that was a tennis coach in my village when I was a very, very small kid, and I had a great family that had the chance to support me in every single moment. No, just a kid that follow their dreams, worked as hard as possible to be where I am today. And at the end of the day, being honest, a lot of people work hard, a lot of people tries their best every single day, but I am one of these that I have been very lucky that the life gave me the opportunity to live unforgettable experiences because of tennis. No, so I just want to be remembered as a good person and a kid that follow their dreams and achieved more than what I ever dreamed.
WNBA, it's expanding, and they've added a team this upcoming season, another the following season. Cleveland is looking to join WNBA and add a team. Now, Cleveland had a team before, and it's a different franchise that's moved to another city, but They want a team in Cleveland again.
When we come back, Kyle Sutherland will join us. Talk a little high school football. Take a look at the big matchups Friday night. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Coach Z joins Out of Bounds Weekly, brought to you by Telco Credit Union. When you're a first-time home buyer, refinancing, or need an auto loan, Telco Credit Union can help at telco.com.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Kentucky stayed undefeated, beating Lipscomb 97-68 behind Jackson Robinson's 20 points on 6 of 10 from the field. Florida beat Florida A&M 84-60. Will Richard led the way with 20 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists. Georgia rolled up Alabama A&M 93-45. They were led by star freshman Asa Newell, who had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Then LSU beat Charleston Southern 77-68 behind freshman Victorious Miller's 19 points off the bench. Miller is the son of rapper Silk the Shocker and the nephew of Master P. Tonight in the SEC, 23rd-ranked Texas A&M will host Southern at 7 on SEC Network Plus, and 8th-ranked Alabama will host 25th-ranked Illinois at 8 on the SEC Network. Arkansas will face Illinois on Thanksgiving. And Little Rock will take on Tulsa tonight at 7 on ESPN Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
Tune in every Monday night at 7 for the Coach Calipari Show. Coach will break down each game and talk strategy. And it's all brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Central Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Visit genesisofconway.com and find the future of luxury today.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Proudly serving Little Rock and the surrounding areas, All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros is your trusted one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. From auto repair to buying tires, our experienced technicians and tire experts will provide personalized care and expert advice to help keep you and your family safe on the road. Any car, any job, our goal is to make your experience quick and easy. Visit us today in Little Rock or Mapleville or online at allabouttireandbrake.com. Tire Pros, love the drive.
You don't have to go through yet another year of that knee pain or back pain. People with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. Hey everybody, it's RJ. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. Their unique protocols use healing agents from your own body to target those aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue the natural way. So think about this. You'll be able to move again with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Got shoulder pain? Excruciating hip pain? If you have any arthritis pain or lingering pain from an injury, do not let them operate on you or give you more steroids. Say no to the pain pills, but instead, you need to call QC Kinetics. People are raving about these treatments all over Central Arkansas. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as next week. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440.
Thanksgiving is almost here, which means it's time to start thinking about your holiday plans. This year, save time along with the worry and hassle, and let the team at Edwards Food Giant do it for you. Their turkey dinner includes the turkey as well as their signature cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls. All fully cooked, homemade, and ready for you to heat and serve to your family. If that's not enough, their deluxe turkey dinner also includes sweet potato casserole, green beans, and apple pie. Now that's what I call a Thanksgiving spread. Click on edwardsfoodgiant.com to view their full menus and find out how to order your dinner.
Clint Conk joins the zone each week on 103.7 The Buzz. Brought to you by Farm Brothers Flying Service, providing crop dusting services to farmers in Southeast Arkansas. Call 870-263-1300.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Take the party wherever we go.
Big party Friday night. High school football. Fearless Friday. Ready to roll. Let's bring in Kyle Sutherland. Talk a little high school football. What's up, Kyle? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing good. I'm just heading back into town. I've been talking a little broadcast journalism down at Star City Middle School all day. So been doing that, and now I get to talk a little ball with you guys to finish out the day.
Awesome. Well, let's start in 7A. I think the best game in 7A is Pulaski Academy and Fayetteville, the defending state champions, trying to make it to the semifinals. Got the Bruins in 7A, got their first 7A playoff victory last week. What do you see in this one?
I definitely agree with you. It's probably the best matchup of the second round. And PA, I've said it a little sporadically throughout the year, especially once we got into the conference season. And they did well in non-conference too, but I think they've really surpassed expectations. As we've said, we expected them to compete in Class 7A, but really maybe just a little bit ahead of schedule. Brandon Cobb has just used his legs so well. They've taken what the defense gives them. And yeah, I wonder, Wes, I know it's a road game for PA, and it's tough to play up in Fayetteville, but does it bode better for PA that they didn't have a week off? Fayetteville has been a little bit inconsistent, particularly, I know that they, at the beginning of the season, they had that really heartbreaking loss to Texas High, but have shown some inconsistencies. And I think overall that Pulaski Academy probably has been, throughout the season, the more consistent team. And that's what you really wonder is maybe did this week off hurt Fayetteville maybe more than it's going to help them.
So on either side there, Kyle, what does PA need to do to win the game? What does Fayetteville need to do?
Well, Fayetteville, I think, needs to make sure that they focus. One thing that a lot of teams, and that's not taking anything away from Brandon Cobb, he's done his job, but I think that's one thing that probably defenses have disrespected him a little bit, particularly in the beginning of the year. When they're dropping 7 or 8, he just tucks it and runs. I mean, that's what you're going to do. You're just, again, going to take what the defense gives you, and I think that's going to be probably for both sides. Garrett Odom is a dual threat himself, and really just quarterback play, who uses your legs better, because both teams have. PA's probably not, their defense isn't getting talked about as much as it should, but you've got two pretty stout defensive teams and two really good quarterbacks that run solid offenses. So I think that really, especially both quarterbacks' legs, Garrett Odom and Brandon Cobb, could be the difference.
I feel pretty good about Bryant and Bentonville moving on, the two number one seeds that won the West and the Central. How about Rogers and Conway? Rogers' offense has been explosive at times. I like Conway's secondary. You feel pretty comfortable, confident in Conway, or could they have a test?
Yeah, I think Conway bounces back because we've seen plenty of times, and I hate to look back at history and really decipher how I'm going to go with games, but I do think this is going to be it could be an offensive shootout. Jeff Regan's done a great job with Rogers. Last year was a receiver, and he can do so many different things. But I do think Conway bounces back. I think that they learned a lot from that Bryant loss. After they turned Bryant over twice, that's when the Hornets really woke up. And so I think that talking about Fayetteville maybe having that week off maybe didn't bode so well for them. I think Conway is going to be in a good position. I do think they'll come out on top of that one.
In 6A, let me start with Van Buren, because I did not see Van Buren going to Marion, and now they go to Shiloh Christian this week. Could the Pointers do it twice, 2 weeks in a row?
It's going to be real tough. I think when they played Shiloh in the regular season, it was like 35-7 or something like that, so it was pretty lopsided. And I mentioned to you guys last week, and I had said multiple times that I didn't necessarily pick Van Buren to win the game, but I kind of had Marion on upset watch a little bit just because of how they had performed over the past few weeks. And Van Buren, for the second year in a row, makes a trip across the state and goes and gets the upset. So that's going to be real tough. So I always talk about how it's tough to beat the same team twice, but I just think Shiloh's probably just got a little bit more, as far as just the pieces there. You got to give it to Van Buren and Coach Henry for the job that they've done, especially to do that. Like I mentioned, 2 years in a row. So you got to really tip your hat to the Pointers. That's going to be really tough to get past Shiloh, especially in the postseason, with how well Shiloh just year in and year out makes those runs to Little Rock. What was it, 5 years in a row over the past few years that they've made it to War Memorial Stadium. So yeah, it's going to be real tough to win that one at Champion Stadium.
Kyle, looking at the playoffs, and if you had to pick one classification that's most competitive, most wide open for this playoff run, which would it be?
I would say, I think most would agree with this, 3A is probably the most wide open. Like 4A, you look there at Arkadelphia, a lot of people like. Of course, Elkins has been the favorite all year, but I think 3A, there's just so much parity. There's probably, at minimum, a handful of teams that you could really point out that is a true competitor to win state.
Yeah, I would say that one is pretty much wide open. I think Elkins, Arkadelphia, like you said, in 4A is kind of the trendy pick. But in 3A, I mean, you can make an argument for a lot of teams, and there are a lot of good games. How about Prescott going to Salem this week? You know, Prescott's been number one at times this year, and they're on the road taking on Salem.
That whole bottom half, West, that bottom bracket, you look at Salem at Prescott, I think, that was that. And they played at Hendricks in week 1, and Salem was actually in the lead, and Prescott made the comeback. Newport at Mansfield is very intriguing. I'm really hesitant to ever pick against Mansfield again because I did it all year last season. They made it to the semifinals. I said before the year that they might just be a one-hit wonder. You just weren't really sure, but they just, Whit Overton, you really have to commend him. He has done a great job there. So can they keep up with the speed and all those tools? And, obviously Mansfield's got some good running backs as well, but when you think about Keandre Barker that had 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, whatever it was, 200 yards last week, and Tonio Phillips, just all that speed that they have. And then also Rising at Rivercrest. Rivercrest with Devontae Washington. Rising obviously runs a totally different offense. They run the flex bone, but when Rising plays really good defense, they played really good defense in their loss to Fordyce, but it just kind of got away from them a little bit, and then not converting on some 2-point conversions hurt them. But when Rising plays really good defense, they are extremely dangerous.
And then talk about names, Charleston and Osceola. I mean, I know Charleston's not the Charleston of years past, but you talk about 2 storied programs playing in the second round.
Yeah, absolutely. Carter Little didn't get a chance, their quarterback. He didn't get a chance to play in the postseason last year. And Charleston, they graduated a massive class, so they did expect to maybe take a step back, but also injuries last year hurt him. And he made it a point that he wanted to make sure that his team advanced when they played last week, and he scored, passed for 5 touchdowns and ran for another, so had a massive game. And, Ricky May, he's been doing this for a long time, and he's had a lot of success and a couple state championships, so can't ever count them out. And then Robert Hooks has done a phenomenal job in his first year back at Osceola.
What are some of the other standout games for you?
Well, we'll talk a little 2A. So talking about the bottom half in 3A, that's very competitive, and so is it in 2A. Last week you had, of course, Cross County that was up on Junction City. Junction City had a comeback there, and now they go to Carlisle for the second time this year. We called that game in week 1 when the Dragons came to Carlisle, and the Carlisle won that one 41-20. And also Conway Christian at Des Arc. Des Arc is a really good team. Has shown a little bit of streakiness at times, but I think with Junction City, the biggest question is, I feel like, can they have more than what Dominique Grimes is going to give them? They have so many athletes, but for the most part, it's been Dominique Grimes to the left, Dominique Grimes to the right, and he is a phenomenal player. But really, if it wasn't for his 3 touchdowns, that Carlisle game would have been 41-0. I mean, he was their entire team that night. So they got to have a complete effort. And then can Conway Christian keep it up? It's really tough when you go into the playoffs at 10-0, and then to continue that season undefeated, it's really tough. But Conway Christian's been right there on the cusp for the past couple of years of really getting over that hump, and this could be the year for them.
Another rematch game. We had Lakeside and Robinson earlier this season. We had Coach Escola on earlier today. Robinson was able to beat Lakeside earlier this. How many rematches do we have this? There are only 32 games. It seems like there are 4 or 5 rematches. That's incredible.
Like you said, you've got the Robinson Lakeside, Parkview Maumelle, of course, which, man, how about Maumelle last week? I got to eat some crow. I picked on here, and I picked on my podcast earlier that week that Greenbrier was going to up, talking about at least the seedings. That Greenbrier, I felt like they were a pretty equal team, but as far as the seedings, that would be an upset. And for Brian Maupin to call that, to have his offense on the field with a 4th and 1 on your own 10-yard line, not just with the game on the line, with your season on the line, I don't know much of a better way to tell your players that you trust them than that.
That was gutsy right there. How about the rematch between Parkview and Maumelle?
It's really interesting because it was 9-0 at halftime. Parkview had hit 3 field goals and really just came out and exploded in the second half. And I know that's one that Coach Mopp really wanted, for his guys to get that win over the back-to-back champions. And now that they've got another, I know that that Maumelle staff, they're going to put every little bit that they can into this. And West, they played great defense for the majority of the other than that Parkview game. And, I know they got shut out 22-0 against BB, but overall, Maumelle has played really, really stout defense, particularly against the run. You look at what they did against these. People don't do the Enoch Hassan shutting him down the way that they did. Now, obviously, Parkview has a few more pieces than no disrespect to Greenbrier, but Parkview has a few more pieces there. So it's really just about keeping those guys. Whenever that Parkview plays really solid defense, you see them compress their formations a lot. So it's really just about making sure that those guys you keep them really at the line of scrimmage and not get them out in space with all that speed that they have.
Let's go to sticking in 5A. Camden Fairview goes to Harding Academy. You were there for that, got the upset. This week they go to Farmington. What about Camden Fairview back-to-back?
And how about Farmington? We talked about Tommy Tice a couple of times this year. I mean, to me, probably the leading candidate for Coach of the Year. Definitely a finalist, no question about it. You got Farmington that overcame that game against BB and won that one by 2 points, played great defense. And Camden Fairview and Harding Academy, I mean, that was much closer than the score showed. It was 20-10 with about a minute 30 left in the first half, and then Camden Fairview got back-to-back scooping scores, and Harding Academy just wasn't able to overcome that. But Jenny Atkins for Camden Fairview is a really good quarterback that probably hasn't talked about enough, and Nick Vaughn, he's going to hang his hat on defense, and the Cardinals, they look really ferocious on defense as well.
I forgot to ask you about a 6A game. You got Lake Hamilton and Benton. Benton, what's the quarterback situation? Have you heard, and what do you think about the Panthers this week?
I have not heard who is going to be starting. I have not talked to Coach Harris this week. Chase Cobb obviously had a great game in that regular season finale, his first start. This is one that's just, and I know it's cop-out, but it's just so hard to predict because you want to pick Benton because, yes, they're the higher seed. They've had more wins. But, Wes, we know what kind of coach Tommy Gillard is. He always has his guys believing that they can win any place, anytime, anywhere. They had that big win over Shiloh Christian. What was that, a week after they had gotten shut out at home by Mountain Home? So I do feel like this is going to be competitive. I think the last time that these two teams played in the playoffs a couple years ago, it was a Benton blowout. But I don't know, man. I mean, Lake Hamilton has just made so much improvement from last year, and you expected that they would, especially once they got some of those guys some playing time that were so young. Of course, they had some injuries at quarterback. I do. My gut tells me Benton, but I think that this one could be much more competitive than people think.
This Clinton Mills in 4A is kind of flying under the radar with some of the other 4A games, but it's funny. On the D3 Auto Sales text line, I've had a dad from Mills hit me up about the game, and now someone from Clinton is asking about the game. So there's some interest in Clinton and Mills.
And I'm kind of ashamed of myself that I didn't bring it up because I'm actually covering, now that we're off with the buzz for the next couple of weeks, I'm covering this one for the Democrat Gazette on Friday. And it's a matchup of as contrasting styles as you could think. You got that spread attack of Mills against that ground and pound attack of Clinton. And I feel pretty confident in saying that Clinton is probably going to be the toughest task that Mills has faced this year. When you think about especially the line of scrimmage, Elijah Moody has been incredible. I mean, especially regardless of what classification you are, he has just been incredible with the way that he's led that team as a freshman and just the numbers that he's put up. But if you're Clinton, that's really the thing. If you can at least, it's hard to shut a player like that down, but if you can at least slow him down, you really like Clinton's chances because of the way that they run the football, and they're going to slow the game down on the offensive side. They've got over 3,000 rushing yards. They've got 2 1,000-yard rushers. So I do think that Mills is going to get probably the biggest push that they've seen all season. Not to say that they're not going to win the ball game or anything like that, but this is maybe one that first couple of drives might be a little bit shell-shocked just because I don't know that they've seen the kind of front yet that they are going to see with Clinton.
In 4A, sticking in 4A, Malvern came back and got the win last week. I was checking the scores, and they were behind and didn't look good, and they battled back, get the win. This week they host Highland.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, that one where they came back. Of course, the Gentry Talon Williams, after missing so much time, they were down at DeWitt, and then he throws that, I think there was maybe 16 seconds left on the clock. He throws his 6th touchdown pass, and Gentry wins 42-41. Of course, Hamburg drove over 5 hours, around 6 hours actually on the Yellow Dog, and beat Gravett by 20 points. That was probably something a lot of people didn't see. But Malvern, they might be down in some games, but it just seems like they're never out. Other than the Arkadelphia game, that's the only game that they've lost this year. Coach Fogelman teams, that's what you expect. It doesn't matter if the other team might have more talent on paper or whatever the case may be. A John Fogelman coach team is never out of it.
Kyle, good stuff. Thanks, man. Enjoy the game, Mills and Clinton Friday night, and we will see you soon.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Kyle Sutherland with us on Out of Bounds. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up. Fast 3 hours. Check the D3 Auto Sales text line. You want to jump in? We'll have a couple of minutes. Get ready for Drive Time Sports. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
At Eat My Catfish, fall is our favorite time of the year, and football season isn't the only thing making a comeback. Available now, our famous shrimp gumbo and Cajun boudin balls make their return to the menu. Order online at eatmycatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, Eat My Catfish.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket.
Paid for by Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas started with 50, then 30. Now we've reached the final days. Looking for 20 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall savings event and receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is looking to evaluate our exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including our revolutionary new laser etch shower wall system. That's right. You'll be compensated for your time just to determine if our exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. Final days. 20 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments. Senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Starbucks gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Abe Lincoln, Duck Dynasty, and Chuck Norris. Do you have what it takes to join these bearded greats? Join the Arkansas Urology Foundation for the 4th annual Beard Bracket Challenge, presented by First Horizon Bank, as you put down your razors and put your facial hair to the test. No Shave November helps bring awareness to men's health issues, from prostate cancer to sleep conditions, mental health, and everything in between. Guys, put down your razors and submit your bearded photos to arkansasurology.com between now and December 6th for your chance to win a 70-inch flat screen TV in the 4th annual Beard Bracket Challenge, presented by First Horizon Bank and the Arkansas Urology Foundation.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, decided that his newspaper, the Washington Post, would not give an endorsement to either candidate for president. When the predictable backlash came, he explained, "Something we are doing is clearly not working. Most people believe the media is biased. Anyone who doesn't see this is paying scant attention to reality, and those who fight reality lose." Doublebee's always pays attention to reality. Our 34 locations in Arkansas are here to serve you, not some irrelevant agenda. We have the things you need right now, with quality, value, and convenience built in. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
This holiday season, I'm thankful to see new places with my kids.
To travel in comfort to see my family.
Having a reliable way to see loved ones that live far.
No matter what you're thankful for this holiday season, Red River can help you get there. Come shop our wide selection of Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Toyota, and Ford in locations all over the state, or our incredible deals on pre-owned. Let us treat you like family at Red River, or visit us online at redriverauto.com.
Arkansas broadcast legend Craig O'Neill joins Morning Mayhem each week, presented by Petit Jean Meats, locally owned and operated for 4 generations. With Petit Jean Meats, people always know where their meat is coming from, made right here in Arkansas.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette just so I can breathe.
Welcome back. Let me head over to the D3 Auto Sales text line to catch up on all these text messages. Drew in Little Rock says, does the bet count a bowl game? I don't think it does.
No, it's regular season.
Yeah, we were talking about the over-under number of wins for Arkansas earlier, and I got it at 5.5 and need one more. But, yeah, it's regular season wins only. 501 says, Dominique Johnson was also at the game on Saturday. Another former Razorback. Corey in Little Rock. Shout out to the Mills Comets. Yes, sir. Go Mills. Big game against Clinton. Atomic Hog says, unless the Hogs slip up Saturday and the unthinkable happens, I'm convinced that we'll stick with Coach Pittman and mediocrity for another year.
Oh,
like y'all mentioned, money. However, also think about the other schools that will have openings. Oklahoma. You think Oklahoma's going to make a move?
I wouldn't say it's off the table, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's off the table.
I'd say it's more likely not to happen than to happen. I'd put it less than 50%. Florida's not making a move. They've already said they're not. Florida State, I don't think they make a move. Auburn, I don't think they will. You think they'll?
No, because the buyout is big there.
Southern Cal?
No.
I don't. LSU?
No.
I don't either. I don't see any of this. What head coach can we afford, and who would be left to get? I'm not going there. We still have a head coach. 530 says, Jerry's world is falling apart. Too bad, so sad. Yes. Rodgers to the Cowboys confirmed. That's from the 940.
There was some talk about it before the season started.
501 says, Vikings, man, quietly having a very good year. 8-2. That NFC North, outstanding.
Yeah. Sam Darnold has bounced back in a big way with a lot of weapons around.
Bo in Clinton, yep. We talked about Clinton, Bo. It's going to be a fun game, Clinton and Mills. And from the 903, our buddy from Texas. I have a question for you guys. I was born and raised in Texas. In high school football, it's huge there. In the playoffs, they play games at neutral sites for many of the reasons, one being travel. Has Arkansas ever looked into playing playoff games at neutral sites?
No.
I've not ever heard of that. But, yeah, growing up in Texas, it was strange, honestly, when I came here and was covering high school football because we do. All the playoff games, we go at a neutral site. And the coaches would try to do a pretty good job of figuring out what's a good town in between where we can meet be equal distance. Now, Texas, you may be playing someone, and it happens in the playoffs in Arkansas, some team from South Arkansas playing a team in North Arkansas, and you'd think, hey, couldn't they meet and play in Pine Bluff, UAPB, War Memorial, somewhere in Little Rock? Wouldn't that make a little bit more sense? But you want that home field advantage. You've earned that home field advantage by having a good regular season. And it'd be just like because we've talked so much about PA Fayetteville. What a great game this weekend. Wouldn't it be cool if they met and played at Arkansas Tech, in Russellville? But Fayetteville's like, no, we're the number 2 seed out of the West. We deserve to have that home field advantage.
That's why those stadiums are built a certain way in Texas also to accommodate some of those games that they may have to host.
Yeah, and then once you get to – and they may be doing it now, like games in Frisco at the Star, playoff games. But I know they would have a lot of the semifinal games, big games, back then in Texas Stadium. Mm-hmm. And it'd be cool because there would be a game like, Joe, they'd start like at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And then they'd have one at 1 o'clock, then one at 4 o'clock, then one at 7 o'clock. They would go all day. They would do the same thing at the Astrodome. They would have 3 or 4 games just back to back to back to back. And you just have high school fans that would come, not even associated with teams, and just go watch 4 great games all day long. It was fun. 870 says, Bryant Hornets 42, Arkansas Razorbacks 3. A lot of faith in your Hornets, huh? They look good. They look good. I think it's going to be tough for Cabot this week. It's a rematch, though. I was trying to count while Kyle was 32 games. I saw off the top of my head 7 rematches this week. That's a lot.
That's big.
That's a lot in the playoffs. Coming up tomorrow, Lee Sterling will join us. We'll get his picks for some SEC games. His free play is Dallas, Washington.
Okay.
I'll give you my free play. take the Commanders. Give the points. 10, 20, whatever you want to do. That's an easy one. Just like Monday night was easy. Also tomorrow, Richard Davenport will join us. Brad Bolding from Parkview is already confirmed for tomorrow. He's going to talk about that Parkview Maumelle game at J.A. Fair Friday night. And Hayden Henry is a question mark. Hayden's been busy and gone this week. We're going to try to get him in on Thursday. So it should be a fun Thursday. Hope you can join us, but stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.
This month at Gwatney Chevrolet, you could be eligible